Assalamualaikum dan selamat pagi semua. Untuk memberkati program kita pada pagi ini, marilah kita sama-sama membaca surah Al-Fatihah. Alhamdulillah, kita berkumpul pagi ini secara maya dalam latihan akademik dengan tajuk Quick and Easy Tips to Become an Edutuber bersama Mr. Chuah Kee Man, Pensyarah di Fakulti Bahasa dan Komunikasi Universiti Malaysia Sarawak, UniMAS. Saya, Dr. Nur Fatimah Cik Sulaiman, Pensyarah di Fakulti Perniagaan Ekonomi dan Pembangunan Sosial, FPEPS UNT, merupakan moderator untuk program hari ini. Okey, kita semua akan mendengar sesi latihan akademik daripada Mr. Kee Man mengenai subjek yang saya rasa amat sesuai dan dekat dengan kita sebagai pensyarah. Tetapi sebelum kita bermula, saya ingin mengambil sedikit masa anda. Bagi pihak semua, saya ingin merakamkan setinggi-tinggi penghargaan kepada Pusat Pembangunan Bakat dan Inovasi PPBI UNT atas usaha mereka menyediakan topik yang tepat pada masanya dan menjemput penceramah yang sangat hebat dan berpengalaman. Sesi ini akan memperkenalkan peserta kepada fungsi-fungsi penting di YouTube channel, memberikan panduan khusus dalam menghasilkan video-video menarik untuk tujuan PDP dan membimbing peserta dalam proses penyuntingan video. Okey, sebelum kita meneruskan sesi ini, saya ingin maklumkan bahawa kita akan mendengar sesi daripada Mr. Kee Man diikuti dengan sesi soal jawab. Jika terdapat sebarang soalan, cadangan atau pandangan, sila type di ruangan chat box atau boleh unmute dan tanya secara terus kepada Mr. Kee Man. Saya juga ingin mengingatkan semua, sila mutekan mikrofon anda apabila tidak bercakap. Okey, sekarang saya mengalu-alukan Mr. Chuah Kee Man yang akan bercakap mengenai quick and easy tips to become an Edutuber. Mr. Chuah Kee Man merupakan seorang pensyarah dan penyelidik yang mempunyai pengalaman lebih daripada 12 tahun dalam bidang teknologi pendidikan, linguistik pengiraan, pembelajaran sains dan pengajaran bahasa Inggeris. Beliau juga aktif terlibat dalam startup ekosistem dengan peranan sebagai pengarah bersama startup Grind Malaysia. Beliau mempunyai beberapa anugerah di peringkat kebangsaan dan antarabangsa untuk pelbagai inovasi dalam pengajaran dan pembelajaran, terutamanya dalam bidang pembelajaran yang dipertingkatkan teknologi bantuan dan analisis pembelajaran. Beliau juga adalah penerima UniMAS Academic Award for the Teaching Award kategori pada 2014 dan Best E-Learning Facilitator di International University E-Learning Carnival 2016. Baiklah Mr. Kee Man, dengan segala hormatnya, saya persilakan.
Terima kasih Dr. Nur Fatimah. Kali kedua kita berjumpa untuk Fakulti Ekonomi dan Perniagaan sebelum ini. Tapi I think yang ini dibuka kepada semua.
Ya, betul.
Topik yang mungkin ramai yang dah rasa macam mungkin tak penting lagi dah, sebab kita dah balik akan balik ke dalam situasi sama ataupun sebelum pandemik, di mana pelajar akan balik ke kampus dan kita mungkin akan mengajar seperti biasa, seperti dulu, right? Mungkin itu yang ramai yang fikir lah. Many people are thinking that we're going to return to the old way of teaching where we will be standing in front of the class and students will be listening to us. But I think what we can realize is that things are changing. Kita pun tengok kalau kita melaksanakan open distance learning ODL, pelajar akan lebih terbuka dia punya minat untuk mendaftar program-program akademik di universiti. Sekarang baru minggu lepas saya dengar UiTM pun ada masalah nak dapatkan pelajar sebab pelajar dah tak nak masuk universiti disebabkan oleh impact pandemik. Ramai yang sebenarnya cari kerja sebab kekangan kewangan dan sebagainya. Tapi bila kita ada ODL, kita menawarkan flexibility kepada pelajar untuk meneruskan pengajian tanpa perlu berada di kampus, tanpa perlu berbelanja untuk hadir ke kelas dan umpamanya. Tapi itu terpulang kepada pelaksanaan nantilah. Cuma apa yang saya nak sampaikan hari ini, what I will be delivering today would be some tips that I learned from my own experience after doing this for quite some time, even before pandemic. Some tips that probably would be useful. I wouldn't say it's easy for some, but some maybe easy, but it will be some essential tips that would be helpful. I will be code switching using English and Malay, sebab I think some would be more comfortable listening in English as well. So I campur-campur lah kan macam biasa. Okay, saya share screen dulu. Senang sikit. Alright, so I think my screen dah di-share kot. Okay. Okay, so dia kalau yang daripada Fakulti Ekonomi dengan Perniagaan ni mungkin ada deja vu sikit lah, macam pernah dengar benda ni. Tak apa, tapi anggap as a ulang kaji ataupun refresher. By the way, selamat Hari Raya by the way bagi yang beragama Islam, sebab baru lepas beraya mungkin dah makan lemang, ketupat semua dah lupa semua. So now is a good refresher lah for those yang dah listen to me before this in March. Those yang belum, or this is your first time, maybe you can probably have a clear idea of what we mean by Edutuber, right? So let's start now. So we have about, okay, I divided into two parts because we have about 2 hours. Kita ada dalam 2 jam hari ini. Part 1, YouTube and Edutuber. I would love to touch on some key features of YouTube educational content because there are quite a number of misconception. Bila kita sebut Edutuber ni rasa macam kena jadi mega star, influencer baru dapat jadi panggil Edutuber, right? That kind of concept. Some essential tips in becoming an Edutuber, and I will be sharing some of the papers or research done in this area. There are quite a number of research done investigating on how videos uploaded on YouTube, especially by educators, on how it impact learning and all that. Okay, so some key tips mungkin boleh membantu anda dalam membuat persediaan untuk menceburi bidang edutubing ni mungkin. Alright, ataupun dah buat, mungkin you have probably uploaded some videos on YouTube and you might want to reconsider or realign the way you make use of your channel. Part 2 will be live demonstration of tools. So there will be quite, I think I would, because kita tak ada masa panjang, so I will be touching, I decided to focus on 2. I think sesi sebelum ni, I focus 3 pun rasa macam ramai yang, terkial-kial. So I decided to focus on 2 sahaja yang lebih senang lah. To get yourself started, to make yourself more comfortable in uploading videos or creating videos for educational content. Alright, okay, let's start with part 1. Oh yeah, before that, just in case I tak tahu ramai how many will be responding. How many of you have a YouTube channel? Like you actually have a YouTube channel and there are quite a number of videos there already. So maybe you just give a thumbs up or reaction or something like that, or in the chat as well if you have. You have a channel which is public, right? Not not private to you lah, right? Public with some video. Some kata I don't have. Quite a number of thumbs up. I saw some thumbs up there. Okay. I want to but not yet. Good. Dr. Umur kata want to but not yet. Tak apa. I think some say segan. Dr. Zuhair kata segan apanya, right? Okay, tak apa. Let's see, we see how people are approaching this thing about edutubing or YouTubing, right? And one of the key thing that I always get yang what was mentioned by Dr. Zuhmi katalah segan. Actually even in UniMAS pun, I think pada awal pandemic when we started remote teaching, ataupun we don't really call it remote lah sebab taklah remote sangat pun, when we started online learning to a lot of students, lecturers were very very shy of going to YouTube to upload their videos and all that. I think not really about dia bukan segan sebab dengan pelajar, dia sebenarnya segan dengan orang lain. Dia takut orang lain tahu apa yang you mengajar dalam kelas. I think that kind of shyness is there lah, right? But there are a few things that I think we can do. So today I'll be sharing some tips on how to overcome that. You don't have to use your YouTube channel as a platform like your normal teaching. You can use it as a really good tool to really show teaser of things, or to really make use of it as a marketing tool actually. Some educator, they forget that dia lupa bahawa YouTube can actually be a good marketing tool for your whatever you're doing, you know, your research and everything, kalau you showcase yourself on YouTube, people will be approaching you faster. I mean, I experienced this on my own. Kadang-kadang dapat email ataupun komen yang tak entah daripada mana, Afrika ada, US ada, they ask us to collaborate because of what we shared on YouTube and things like that. So you don't see it just only for teaching your student, you see it as a platform that you can make use to also increase your profile as an educator or whatever you want to do lah, right? Of course, the main thing here would be on, sampaikan ilmu kepada pelajar kita lah, okay? So, there is a misconception, the first one I showed on the slide here, Edutuber ni influencers. Actually, they are not. The moment you use YouTube for educational content without, without having large followers and all that, you are already a Edutuber. How to put this? Walaupun you ada 10 lah subscriber ke, seorang ke yang setia ataupun your parent ke, 2 orang je ke yang views, you are already a Edutuber as long as your content are mainly educational. You tak ada share tentang, you know, all this entertainment, gaming or other genre. You are focusing mostly on educational content. So it can be anything. It can be tutorial and all that. You are already an Edutuber. So it's a wrong concept to think that Edutuber ni orang yang mega followers, you know, like large influencers and all that. Tak ada. In fact, there's a trend now called nano influencer ataupun micro influencer, where you are influencing your small circle of community or your small circle of learners, right? So even if you are impacting only the people around you, for example, your student, you are already an influencer, but it's a nano or micro influencer where you're influencing your students. And I'm not sure if you do your own observation or your own reflection. Kalau kita perhatikan, bila pelajar nampak kita visible on YouTube, dia lagi excited sebenarnya. Sebab dia nampak lecturer ni bukan cakap atas kertas saja, dia pun buat. Kadang-kadang kita suruh pelajar buat video on YouTube ni, kita komen bukan kan, oh dia ni tak canggih lah, ni lah, kita komen bukan main. Tapi bila kita buat, kita baru rasa yang, oh serupanya susah sebenarnya nak buat video ni, kan? It's like that lah, that kind of thing. So once you are involved in that, when students see us doing it, dia jadi, okay, lecturer ni dia buat apa yang dia cakap, and kita boleh ikut ataupun we can use it as a reference point or role model. And later on I will show you some video. Tak perlu gempak pun, you don't need so complicated or so sophisticated tools to do this. As long as your content is clear, right, and you know the approach of delivering it, you're there, right? And people will be appreciating your video and for all over the world, right? Nanti kita akan tengok lah. And it's also wrong to think that Edutuber only emerged during the pandemic. Edutuber has existed since, I think, when YouTube heavily invested on this. I show this snippet. In 2018 sebenarnya, YouTube decided to go all out in this because back then it was popularized by Han Academy. I think you probably have heard of Han Academy. On YouTube, there is this. They started on YouTube first. Salman Khan, bukan Salman Khan Bollywood, Salman Khan Academy decided to upload videos on teaching. He started off teaching dia punya niece and nephew on how to solve some complicated math problems and all that, right? It was very random kind of thing, and suddenly all his video become very, very popular, and he decided to go in that. And mind you, that was 2004. How many years ago? It's not a pandemic thing, it's 2004. And he started to be really serious in uploading, and he created this Han Academy channel, and where he uploaded all the videos were done by him, solely by him at first. And there were thousands of videos now, using very simple tool. But what is important is that the moment YouTube saw this trend and all that, they started to invest heavily by having this thing called YouTube Learning. If you go to Google, you can type YouTube Learning, and during pandemic, you say learning at home. And if you go to the app, now you have YouTube Kids, which focuses on kids learning content and all that. So they start to invest heavily and get all these educational creators and all that, and they put it under one platform. And if you got featured there, of course, your video will be a hit where, people will be visiting and all that lah, right? So it's not a pandemic thing. That's another misconception. Ramai yang kata, oh, Edutuber ni emerged because of pandemic. No, it has been existed for many, many years. But because of the pandemic, because of the time that we spent at home watching videos and all that, the views skyrocketed, right? Even my video that I did on all this tutorial yang how to use Google Meet and all that was uploaded like in 2016. But during the pandemic, I hit like thousands of views because everyone was looking for the kind of resources and that kind of thing. So whatever you do, You don't have to think like, okay, your video is gonna garner views in a short time. No, sometimes you don't know. Like I uploaded a few years ago, maybe I only had 10 views, but now I have thousands of views because you don't know when that thing will be a trend. And as long as you keep sharing, and your video, even though it's quite old, but the knowledge that you shared is useful, then it will increase the viewership and all that. So don't feel disheartened, because one of the thing that I always get kan daripada my lecturer kata, saya upload video pun 10 orang je tengok, bukan penting pun. But you don't know, right? Same thing they tell you about TikTok as well. Some educators go on TikTok now because of the micro thing. And dia kata, saya upload TikTok bukan orang tengok pun. Tapi suddenly dia masuk dalam, and then get viral and all that. You don't know, because if you stop sharing, then you lose out. If you keep on sharing, later on I'll show you Dr. Hasbullah tu. I really admire his consistency. Dia memang without fail akan upload video every week, and you can see how he built his profile within a short time. Within a very short time, dia dapat build viewership, and now he gets so many opportunity. Ramai yang approach him for different things, right? Okay. I mean, that is all these perks lah. I'm not asking you to chase after that. Tak perlulah mengejar sangat. Tapi bottom line is, these are some tips that you can go for. So yeah, I have a few key things that I want to share when it comes to educational content. We always think that YouTube is only for entertainment, but actually YouTube is largely used for learning. And in fact, all of us, right? Kalau saya tak faham something, I terjumpa satu teori ke, or maybe pengiraan I tak tahu, what the first thing I would do apart from Googling, I will go to YouTube, cari tutorial kan, nak masak ke, nak baiki sink yang terpecah ke, tak tahu nak baiki kowe yang rosak ke, I will go to YouTube. Ada kan, aircon nak clean, ada juga video ni, nak pasang soket, ada juga video. So you'll be surprised that on YouTube there's so many tutorial that people do it just for fun, but eventually helps you, right? My first video I uploaded long time ago was to how to change the language setting in Samsung yang generasi pertama, Samsung phone. Sebab people, I thought I had the problem, I thought other people had that problem, so I just share. At first it was like, I think for a couple of months there was no view, but now that video has about 40,000 views. Because people apparently need that kind of problem. You don't know, right? Because you just share whatever you need to do. And another thing is, there are about 500 million views of learning-related content on YouTube every single day. Right? Every single day. 500 million views. So if yours has no view yet for the moment, it means you need to continue doing it, right? Because the more the more content you have, the highly your opportunity of being appearing on people punya suggested list lah. So in YouTube, if you notice, dia guna all these cookies and analytics lah. The moment you search for something, all the suggested video will appear, right? So if you know the right technique in producing your videos, you know that what people will be searching for, your video will appear in the suggested list as well. Even though your video maybe have a lesser view, but because you know how to use the keyword and all that, your video will appear, right? And in part of the suggested list. Or another strategy would be usually, it's always good to link. Let's say you're delivering a lecture, kan? Nanti I bagi tips further lah. You're delivering a lecture A, you found a good video. In your video itself, you refer to that video. Faham tak? Macam ni, okay, saya dah akan terangkan something, lepas tu kata, kalau nak tahu lebih lanjut, rujuk video ini. So you link to that video yang you found on YouTube. What happened is, the person who owns that video will come back and put it a comment or whatever. Because you link it, the moment people view that video, they will view yours as well. This is the strategy. So, indirect, mungkin you tak popular lah, tapi you link to some professor yang popular kononnya di US ke apa, tapi sebab you link it and the professor come back and comment and all that, because they normally do that. I did that all the time, and the owner will already come to my comment and say, thank you for sharing my video and all that, and then people start to view my video. Macam mana dia datang ni? When I check, actually they came from that video, because it's backlinking, this call it. So what you share in this, in your teaching, for example, in whatever teaching you're doing, kan kita selalu rujuk video-video lain juga kan, and we are referring to other references. So you might want to share as well, link and all that. So these are all technique in making it happening to increase your viewership lah. If that is your aim. If that is not your aim, it's fine, because a lot of people, they upload YouTube video. The goal is not to reach too many views. I mean, like their goal is not to chase the popularity. They just want to share the content. Like a lot of us actually do that. We don't care about the viewership. We just want to share. It's fine, right? But what is key here is the features in YouTube itself. You can say it's easier to learn on the go. Sometimes on the, in anywhere you like, you can just quickly go to your phone and then type something, and then you will see some video which is teaching you. And even if you don't want to watch it, you can listen to it, right? And while on the go, and it's open to anyone to share. One thing good about YouTube is there's no limitation in terms of the who can share. Anyone can share, right? Of course, this is also bound for this misuse lah, like misinformation and everything lah, fake news and all that. So, but I think that one is fine because people will report you if you did something wrong, or if you share some misinformation, orang akan report lah. Kan dah bawah YouTube tu kita ada report. So the moment YouTube notice that a lot of people are reporting a video, then they will flag your video, and then your video will be removed, or at least they will ask you to clarify or remove it yourself, right? It's also socially connected and for greater reach, right? I mean, why is it socially connected? Because YouTube can, is belong to Google and everything. The moment, all this data that is linked, then, people can share on Facebook and share on many places. So it's quite reachable to a lot of people and flexible for learning. I think this is key. Flexible for learning. You know why? Because the control. My students love videos on lectures rather than I teach it live in Zoom or WebEx. So the Zoom or WebEx will be used for activities. So the moment they come to the session, kalau kelas kan, online class, they will just go straight to activity. They know already because my style is activity based only during classes. All the lecture will be in the video format. You know why? Because fast learner will go fast, slower learner will go slow. Some learners will need subtitle, some may not need subtitle. Some will do their own notes, some will not do it because the videos are there. And what I normally get from lecturers adalah, student tak view my video. I always flip that question back. Pernah tanya tak kenapa dia tak view your video? Pernah siasat tak kenapa dia tak view your video? There could be something wrong with your video, or maybe the way you structure the video is not really clear. It's not really aligned to what you're going to do in the class. It is not linked. Sometimes it's like that. That's what I noticed. We spend a lot of time doing the video, but we don't think about how to link it with our activity. So actually, you're wasting your time in a way, because your video are just monotonous reading of slides, for example, right? So of course they don't read it. They might as well take your slides and do their own revision if they need to. But if your video contain things that you explain with some visual or with some guidance or verbal explanation which are not on the slide, for example, then they will watch your video because dia perlukan benda tu kan. Then masuk kelas pula, the moment you go to class and when you design your activities, you can detect all this students yang tak view your videos and all that, and you would deal with them differently, give them a different set of activity, or maybe give them a different set of tutorial and all that. I mean, these are things that we need to do if you want to increase the engagement when it comes to our video lah. Of course, this is for those who are actively doing blended learning or online learning. If you think you are more comfortable doing face-to-face teaching, you can use YouTube as a supplementary tool to upload some things that you don't want to be repeating. For example, in my case, sometimes I'm teaching language. The maximum classes that I have taught ever in my lifetime was 12 classes of the same course, because the policy in UniMAS was we split into 30 for language classes. The maximum 30 is higher in a class. So imagine I have to repeat myself 12 times in a week for things like contoh lah, for example, if I'm teaching APA, you want me to repeat this is how you do citation, when you see this name, you do this and that. For maybe my momentum in the first class, maybe it's okay. By the time I reach the last few classes, I think I lose out. And I always tell my classes in the last, kesian you all, because my momentum dah hilang lah, because, the thing. But if I do all this essential part, do it online, I mean, in a video format, they can just play it, right? And I can keep my momentum because I won't change in the video. And then they can pause, they can rewind, they can do what they want. And the moment I come to class, I can deal with the drills or activities or whatever I want to do with them, that kind of thing. So these are the things that I learned throughout the years. And videos or YouTube videos are not just for the sake of delivering our lecture. It's to also make our teaching more effective. Because you know that if you're teaching 12 classes and you'll be repeating some fact which are going to be repeated so many times, you need to maintain the momentum, kan? The consistency. Kadang-kadang I joke in the first class, by the time I go to the last class, I dah lupa dah whether I told the joke before or I forgot about the joke before, and the students are not laughing and all that. So, okay, maybe I've told this before. But if I do it in a video, some student will come back to me, from all the classes, and they will start to say, oh, that joke is really stick into my mind because it helped me to remember the APA format and all things like that. Okay, I'll deal with the question in a bit, because I saw some questions, so nanti kita tengok lah kan. Okay. Ramai yang sebut tentang Dr. Hasbullah ni. Mungkin ada nanti ada Dr. Ismail kata kalau kita nak buat video macam video Hasbullah ni, kita kena edit juga here and there kan. Kalau tak pandai edit, nanti saya bagi tahu. Dr. Hasbullah sebenarnya minimal editing. Dia tak ada editing sangat sebenarnya. Nanti kita tunjuk tool yang saya akan tunjuk dah. Senang saja. And you tengok klip-klip yang dia letak tu, actually another strategy. Yang ni YouTuber suka guna. Tak perlu pun tak apa, tapi strategi. Kenapa nak strategi dia? Strategi untuk orang stay with your video longer. Sebab kalau tengok muka you aja boring kan. So you slate lah video-video lain and all that. Actually little editing saja. Kalau you banding, kalau if you really want to learn the strategy kan, I myself ialah you compare the first video the person uploaded atau first few video and then compare dengan video yang latest, you will see a big difference. Video mula-mula mungkin belakang tu penuh dengan buku-buku lah, kertas lah, mungkin di office duduk dengan office manager, tapi now nampak lain sikit, meaning the person is trying his best to change the mood, to change the background, to make it more interesting and all that. It means that he is also learning. In this case macam Dr. Hasbullah pun, you can see that he is probably learning how to make it more effective sebab dia dah nampak video-video orang lain. I will tell you the loophole nantilah in a bit, right? But before you decide to go into educational content, you need to be consider all these three key, your topics. It can be subject specific, it can be general knowledge, it can be how to or hacks, or it can be a mix of everything. But I wouldn't suggest you to mix too much. Kalau you tengok this contoh Dr. Hasbullah, since ramai yang kenal dia, kalau you tengok video dia a couple of months ago, I think dia jump daripada 0 subscriber to 200 plus subscriber in less than a year. Because of dia punya style of delivering. Nanti I will tell you lah. Dia subject specific. Focus on things that you are really comfortable in doing nantilah kan. I will go deeper in this. But macam Dr. Hasbullah, he's from mechanical engineering. Dia mechanical engineer and he's teaching in UTM, right? University Technology Malaysia. And he's from engineering background. He's really into cars and mechanics and all this. So since there's something that you really love, instead of keeping to yourself, right? Instead of keeping to your student, sebab every time we explain things to our student, actually student can catch some example that they never get elsewhere. Betul tak? Kita selalu guna analogy, we use analogy. All these things, if we just use it in our class, sometimes we also forget. Apa dah saya terang itu? Saya pun dah lupa. But if you do in a video format, that thing stays for you forever. And whatever you have done like 10 years ago, if people watch it again, they get it because they love your analogy of explaining how this thing is working and all that. Imagine if you just deliver in one class and by the time you teach this for the 5th year, 5 tahun lepas you dah lupa dah the analogy that you use yang sangat berguna dulu. Sekarang you pun dah tukar analogy pun, I have one lecturer dulu yang suka gunakan analogy memasak in explaining teori pembelajaran. She loves to use cooking as a way to explain learning theories and all that. So I find it very fascinating. And what I did was I actually recorded dia punya audio and all that. So when I was teaching, I kind of reused dia punya idea. So of course I give credit to her. I always acknowledge that. And she was surprised that I still keep it because dia pun dah lupa. The lecturer pun dah lupa dah dia punya. So I told her this is really meaningful. Imagine if we start doing this, right? Imagine all of us educators yang kita start to compile all this thing. You'll be surprised that a lot of people will approach your video and start to reckon, oh dia ni, lecturer ni memang hebat lah. I dengar video ni sekali pun dah faham dah, that kind of thing. So you start to build your reputation as well, indirectly. Of course, this is not something that we want to chase, but it could build your reputation as an educator. And you don't have to be fancy, you don't have to be funky or anything. I'll show you some example where there are some serious professors explaining things, but easy to remember, right? And that kind of concept. It can be general knowledge. It's quite popular as well. Cuma general knowledge, you don't build your expertise, right? For our case as lecturer in university, we need to build our expertise. So since you are into something, right, like your area, your discipline, you might want to develop your specific, subject specific. You can share some general knowledge if you want to. Like Dr. Azbullah, sometimes he also shares some current issues masa, he call it. Kan? Ada juga dia share tentang isu masa, which is some sidetrack kind of content. But the main content is still subject specific. What happens is if you build your expertise in your discipline, kalau kita buat our subject specific, you also indirectly appeal to people who are in the same field, kan? Let's say you are in economics, and if I'm searching for economics, I see some, hey, I saw you. And then if your name keep appearing a few times, right, kan? And then I will be approaching you. Boleh tak kita collaborate on our grant ke, research ke, whatever, kan? That kind of thing, okay? And how-to and hacks are popular. But you can combine all this actually. Even subject-specific, you can also do some how-to or hacks. In my case, my preference is subject-specific and how-to because I'm into educational technology. So my channel is on educational technology. And I love how-to. Meaning my topics, the way I structure my videos are all how to, even though it's part of the teaching lah kan, it's part of the teaching. Okay, let me go straight dulu. Okay, some example. Alright, some example of videos. There are many types of video. I'll show you in the real format later, but I'll go through the slides kejap. This is the popular one, talking head. Talking head means the head and the hand when behalf of the body are talking, like this one. This is from ML Studio, very popular studio now. Again, from 0 subscriber jump into millions of subscribers. I think now dah million kot. Mungkin lah dah reach. Mungkin belum lah. Tapi dah banyak subscribers in a very short time. Right? In a very short time. And this is Cikgu Nur Hayami. I think you know him. Dia baru menang saja ni. Guru Inspirasi. Of course, he's also very popular in the education field lah. If you go to his channel pun sama. Dia share mostly about experiment. Sebab dia mengajar sains. And all that. Same thing lah. He told me the same thing. Bayangkan kalau saya kena buat eksperimen ni berkali-kali, kalau chemical tak cukup di sekolah, I cannot do it. So he decided to record the video, and when the materials are all there, and student nampak and all that. Even the student tak dapat rasa, doing it, he find it very useful, at least to give the basic understanding on how to use certain tools. During the pandemic, for example, they cannot go to lab. So he was so happy because during the pandemic they cannot go to school, but his videos are already there before pandemic. Video experiment too. So he can just re-show the video and explain it during the class teaching. And when they come back to class for the exam classes, he can just demonstrate and let them touch the thing and all that. So these are the things that you don't know when will happen. If you keep on thinking that saya tak perlu buat benda ni, and then of course it will never work, right? So you might want to think about what you want to share as well. Okay, this is talking head. And then picture in picture, I show you Prof Karim ni. Prof Karim, I think most of you know him. Kalau if you don't know Prof Karim, then you can go Prof Abdul Karim. His channel is full of educational materials as well. He's the director of Center of Academic Excellence in USM. So dia punya style is picture in picture. This is quite popular as well. You have your own cam. It can be recorded standing like what Prof Karim is showing. This is 2012. Way like how many years? 10 years before pandemic. He is already doing this. He's in food science. So video dia banyak yang view. And the view for his video are not only from Malaysia, are all over the world. You can see their view on palm oil extract or all these food science are all being viewed by a lot of people. This is just an example. I'm not saying that my video like this is my video. Tapi another example would be typical one, ada camera kat tepi and then you explain something. Now, picture in picture is popular when your focus is on your expression, or you need to show something on your expression. If you are not showing any expression, right? You are not really, comfortable showing your expression, then you can turn off the video. Actually, not so important. But if you are teaching to your students, I recommend you to have this because students love to see you. This is from my own research, and also, you can do some review on other research as well. Students love to see us because they get that teaching presence, right? If you are into community of practice, then you have this teaching presence, social presence, and cognitive presence. The teaching presence part is always lacking when it comes to online educational content because they need to see you. I know a lot of lecturers, dia malu nak show video, so dia akan record video dia baca like slide tu daripada awal sampai akhir. Tapi student don't feel like watching the video because they don't see your presence there. Dia macam, baik bagi saya slide tu saja. Kenapa you kena baca slide tu untuk saya? Contoh. That kind of emotional engagement that you get. So you might want to consider this for certain video. My videos are all mostly like this. Maksudnya, I suka terangkan something by showing something. It can be slide ke apa kan, macam ni lah. The reason is, sudah nampak apa yang kita nak tunjuk. Kalau you just explain something without showing it, then it's very hard to do it. Talking head is popular when you only have very short, precise content. And you only need to show clips, very short clips, very micro clips. Tak ada macam nota ke, tak ada. And you only show some keyword cukup. Talking head is very popular about that because of the engagement. But the moment you want to go for talking head, you need to make sure you're expressive. A lot of people go for talking head tapi dia berdiri, dia bercakap dengan monoton dia, and then tak ada keperluan pun you do talking head. So you might want to consider that. So you need to watch out your hand gesture. Because ada yang bila buat talking head, dia tangan dia lagi agresif daripada dia punya percakapan tu. So orang bukan tengok dia punya, they are not listening to you, they are watching your hands. Alright, they are watching your hands going up and down. Okay, anyhow, this is talking head. This is picture in picture. Some people call it slides and camera view, but it's actually picture in picture because there's a picture and then another picture. Another one which is very popular as well, hand style they call it, ataupun screencasting or scribbing. This is popular when you need to explain something in process or step by step in a way like macam calculation, formula. This is very popular. In fact, in this case, if you are teaching for your own students, it's good to have picture in picture. Meaning while you're doing this, you have your camera on as well, right? If you're teaching for your students. But if you're uploading something just to share to the rest of the world, right? For example, then you may not need the picture in picture. Just do like what Salman Han did here. Lah. This is from Han Academy. So if you have watched the video, I think it's very useful. He will explain things using all this script. This is digital whiteboarding. This is screencasting like what I did, tapi without the camera. Dia akan record, type out the code and all that. So it's very popular in a way. And you'll be surprised that even though it looks plain like this video has I think 14 million kot. This video yang on the left 14 million views, and this one close to 1 million I think. But you don't have to show your face all the time. So yang malu-malu, yang kata segan tadi tu, what matters is how you explain things. A good example is always Salman Han punya video, Han Academy. You go Han Academy, you see how he did all the videos, and it's very clear. Not because of his face, not that. It's more on the explanation of things. Like some of the complicated concept, right? And then if you notice the student keep on asking you that thing, or maybe when you explain in class, students tend to be confused or they don't get it. So you might want to think, how do I solve this problem? How do I make it more clear? How do I make it more visible to my learner? Because sometimes when you write on the board in a class, it's not really clear as well. That's why students love to take pictures. Actually, it's not for them to save. Sebenarnya, I don't know whether you notice this. A lot of my students, bila di belakang, dia bukan ambil gambar sangat, dia nak zoom. Dia ambil, lepas tu dia zoom apa you tengah tulis tu. Sebab they can't really see the whole, the whole step. But if you doing the video, dah depan mata, depan screen, lagi senang dia nak tengok the step by step tu. Daripada you tunjuk di depan kelas dengan, using the chalk and talk and that kind of style. Okay? So this is traditional, which is also popular. I think this is something that a lot of you can try. If you're not comfortable doing all this software, this is the easiest. Tak perlu modal canggih-manggih beli software. You just need a camera and a good lighting. Lighting ni pun, you don't have to invest in studio lighting. Just memandai, make sure your room is well lit. Like macam ni. Tak adalah canggih sangat. This is just normal room with a whiteboard. Don't use blackboard. Because blackboard sometimes is very unclear. Whiteboard will be clear. Yang ni, because he's using smart board, I think. Tapi this is a writing board. Dr. Berg is quite popular. So it's step by step. You can see, kalau a good example is Dr. Berg punya video. I don't know whether you know him. I think probably you know him. Dia punya video is always like this. He will write everything on the board first, and then he will go through the item one by one. And it's very, very intriguing to see how he explain it. Not so much about dia punya, complicated editing nothing, right? Even this video as well by I can't remember the cikgu punya nama, tapi this school lah, you know, they actually explain using a very simple concept. So you might want to start doing this as well. Daripada you tulis, you know, on the board, and then nobody is recording you, and then next time you rub it off, and then tomorrow you might have forgotten whatever you have written before, and then you'll be, you know, losing out, you know, the kind of thing. Okay, so I'll be showing some thing here. Maybe before we go to the tools, this is like a real sharing. This is Dr. Berg. Okay, some people said, you know, you have to be very expressive. I'm not sure whether I can get here. Okay. Okay, some people say, okay, you have to be very expressive, you know, very fancy, very, you know, macam mana, outgoing kan, kena ceria, kena selalu, you know, become very hip and happening untuk yang tak ada. Kalau you tengok Dr. Berg video, this has 8 million views, right? Even it was uploaded way before. It's very simple and very straightforward.
Talk about a very unconventional, uncommon, counterintuitive fatty liver cleansing tip, okay? Before I get into the tip, I just want to give you some basics about the liver. The liver is about 3.5 pounds.
Kalau you tengok dia punya style, I mean, you can Google him later. There's no like macam hip, you know, like macam how to put it, like outgoing kind of thing. It's very simple, very calm, very composed. A lot of lecturers, like professors in my university, kata saya tak boleh lah nak fancy ni. I prefer to be like the strict type. No problem. You can. You don't have to be apa kata. There's this misconception lah, nak masuk YouTube ni kena sentiasa ceria, sentiasa macam hip and going, tak perlu, alright? You don't have to go into that trap. You can be as composed as this is a good example actually. I love to use this example because calm and composed. What matters is people love your content, right? You make sure your content is clear, and you notice that he structured the content clearly. What is the topic for today? What is the problem that he wanted to touch on, and then go on to the solution. And the video is only 7 minutes anyway. Right? So you watch all his videos, he chunk it like that, and it's very good example of how you don't have to be outgoing or eccentric or whatever you want to call it lah. You can be calm and composed at the time, right? Of course, this is Dr. Hasbullah. Dia muda kan, you know, like muda sikit ni, dia hip sikit lah, you know, energetic sikit, but you don't have to be energetic, right? This is Dr. Hasbullah.
Kali ini di mana kita nak tengok apa beza antara DOHC dengan SOHC.
Clear kan? Bila start video kita tahu, apa beza DOHC dengan, I pun nak tahu. Kan contoh lah, you know, the moment the video start, tak ada macam, okay, selamat pagi, hari ni, you know, kita mungkin akan belajar tentang ni. No need to do all that thing, you know, go straight to the point. Okay, dalam video ni kita akan belajar tentang ni. You know what I mean? Dia bukan lecture yang normal yang kita selalu buat dalam kelas. Okay, so that's why you need to learn how to chunk your video. Itu strategi dia. And notice that every time dia sebut something, and then dia akan ada clip. Clip ni semua ni free ni. Dia ambil daripada VidEasy. Nampak tak ada siap ada watermark lagi. Clip yang free. Kenapa dia letak clip? Because if you're doing talking head, it's always good to insert a bit of clip in between. Because taklah boring tengok muka you. Kalau you tengok Dr. Berg punya video tadi, dia ada clip juga in between. Nampak?
Pain, right shoulder.
Dia ada clip juga. Slit sajalah.
Maybe some headaches on the right side.
Nampak tak? Because you're doing talking head and we don't have to focus on your face all the time. Actually, psychologically, kalau there's a study I forgot to share here, but psychology ialah we probably stay longer. Sebab bila ada clip, kita akan tunggu muka dia masuk balik. You know, we will wait for the person to come back kan. Bila ada video macam ni, kita tunggu for dia balik. So bila tanpa disedari, without knowing, we actually stay longer for the video. Kalau I keep on looking at your face only, I will stop the video maybe after 30 seconds or 60 seconds I will stop. But because of the insertion of video in between, I will stay longer. This kind of video, because it's explanatory and there's no steps to follow. In a way, if you are doing tutorial video yang macam like most of the video I did, yang step by step, like okay, first you do this, next you do that, people will stay longer because they need to follow the steps. Those kind of video, you don't need all these clips because they'll be watching your steps. That one quite easy to do like in a way. So I recommend those yang mungkin tak berapa selesa dengan talking head. You can start with the step by step how to, yang macam screencasting with the picture in picture tu. Just go straight. Even if you are using slides, you can make sure your slide change a bit by focusing on the chunk, right? And then go through it. You know, you don't need to have all this clip because your people need to follow your step lah kan. Yang ni sebab dia nak explain something, and I mean
Di mana kita nak tengok
this is sample lah.
DOHC dengan SOHC. Korang pernah tengok kan stiker dekat kereta?
Okay, one thing that I noticed here, a lot of lecturer ask me juga, when you're doing video on YouTube, do we have to change our language to make it with slangs? You know, like slang bukan accent lah. I mean slang as in macam korang, you know, diorang. You know, these are all slangs which are not really formal. And some lecturer ask me, as a lecturer, should you do that? I think even in webinar pun, sometimes we use these kind of words because you're so comfortable talking about it. The bottom line is your content is delivered effectively and people understood you. I mean, in communication, I think we know this. If you send something and people cannot receive it because of your formal language and all that, then, you know, you defeat the purpose of doing the video in the first place, right? So you know your target. This target, of course, is not really for his student, like formal learning. This is more on sharing the knowledge. So he knows his target. So the language you tone down to have a bit of slangs or a bit of, you know, all these catchphrases that we normally have among the younger generation. If you want to be formal, like what you see in Dr. Berg's video, that's formal. The language is formal, but then he simplified with an analogy and, you know, examples to make people understand. And of course, the visualization will help. Sebab dia ada tunjuk and all that. Okay, so you don't need to be too worried about the language. After all, if people know your lecturer, and if they see the content, they will know that this content is meant for a certain target group, right? Like my videos on this, I have a few academia series here. If you go down here, I have this academia series. When it's academia series, it's quite formal. I explain like how to write research discussion, how to write implication. The way I say it is very formal, very, you know, very academic language kind of style lah. But the moment I share on this thing, like all these simple things on how to do things, I make it less formal because I need to reach out to the different target group. This target group, for example, are teachers. So I need to use the language that teachers are comfortable with, kan? So I use BM. Saya guna BM and all that. Kadang even my BM pun, I slit-slitkan all these words that teachers yang selalu guna di dalam kelas lah. Because different target will have different, you know, different expectations. So you need to know who are you targeting, right? My recommendation to you, because you're dealing with younger generation in a way, walaupun we are, you know, probably senior in our teaching profession, but our students are young. So we automatically kena jadi young juga lah kan, in a way. So you can mix and match. So a certain concept you can explain very formally, right? But when you need to give examples or when you want to develop clarity, you try to use simpler terms, kan? I think dalam kelas macam tu lah kan. You know, even though you're a professor, when you're teaching, the moment students don't understand, you need to paraphrase or you need to change some example, kan? You akan use example yang mudah and bahasa yang taklah too strict or too formal in a way, right? So think about that in doing your video. This is also very popular. I don't know whether you know, ML Studio is already 1.34 million. They started off quite, I kind of like this channel in a way. They deal with things that people ask, right? And then they deal it in a short time, you know, a short video. And they explain many things. Of course, this is general knowledge. You don't have to follow this stuff, but they invite different people to talk. ML Studio is not solely by the admin. They invite people to talk. Contoh yang all these people yang you see here, they don't belong to ML Studio. They are YouTuber from everywhere. Lectures pun ada dalam ni. Maksudnya dia invite lecturers untuk share something. Simple saja. Macam ni, topik dia very simple. Nusantara siapa punya? Kan? Kalau you tengok tajuk pun, betul juga kan? Nusantara siapa punya? You terus akan stay to this video sekejap. Walaupun mungkin you kan?
Antara netizen Malaysia dan juga
so one thing, of course, the approach is different. This approach is appeal to younger generation. So example dia are mainly from younger generation punya context lah. Kalau you tengok sharing among academics, most of the things they share are like what we share now are from journal papers, research and all that, because you need to prove whatever you are saying is true, right? This is appealing to younger generation. So they use some example from all this argument from textbooks or from from research they found online and all that, but mix and match, right? So you can do this kind of approach as well in your video. Okay. Now, yeah, I think almost 1 hour dah ni. Okay, a quick one on the channel features before we go to the tools. Up here is called the channel art or header. You need to have one. Kalau yang ada channel dah tapi belum ada, nanti you pergi ke Canva and all that, you can do one lah. Do a simple one. One thing you need to learn on your channel art is put your niche immediately, right? Put your niche or maybe highlight something that you want to share. Let's say you're in economics, maybe Dr. Fatima's economic channel, contoh lah, you know. Then people will know that your channel is about economics, kan? Senang orang nak tangkap, bukan you know all this random stuff that they found online. YouTube Studio ada kat sini, manage video. Every time you don't have to separate how to put it? You don't have to like have a separate account. You can use your Gmail, go to YouTube and sign in sahaja, and you just create a channel. Alright, and the channel is for everyone. Anyone can have a channel, right? Then you start uploading your video and all that. One thing I like about YouTube is this one, playlists. You can create your own playlist. Like this one, I have a playlist for EduTech tutorial series. Then this one is for aplikasi teknologi pendidikan. So this is English, this is Malay. So I have a different playlist for different. The moment you have playlists, another strategy would be the moment they click on the first one, they will be viewing the rest of your video, autoplay mode. So indirectly, they will actually see your other videos as well. So you boost your visibility in your YouTube channel, right? Then thumbnails, of course. Thumbnails, I didn't really follow the trend. The trend is thumbnail you tunjuk muka. Nanti this sample. If you want to do thumbnail, another strategy is put your face. The tip is put your face, right? Or do a controversial title like this. Not really controversial. Something striking. Like, boleh baiki tak? Kita kena tipu. Of course you will click kan? Don't tipu kita and all that. This is clickbait lah, people call it. But actually not really clickbait because memang dia akan cakap benda tu. This is strategy. Kalau Dr. Hasbullah, dia akan nampak muka dia dulu. Sebab dia nak highlight muka dia lah kot. Tapi you see the title. And then kalau Dr. Berg, same thing. You will see dia punya face. Nampak tak? Muka dia. And then this is strategy. Right? Mine, I tak suka tunjuk muka saya sangat. So, you can see like mine, I tunjuk the topic. Mana pula ni? I tunjuk the topic sahaja. The title. Actually, it's a bit not so good because I tak pandai clickbait sangat. Kalau I nak clickbait, boleh je. Mendeley menipu. Contoh. I think people will click it because it's a clickbait. But or APA ke-7 sangat merapu. That kind of controversy. Tapi tak perlulah, don't do that lah, in a way. I mean, what I'm telling you is these are the strategy that people are using. But I didn't really use that. But what I learned is videos with my face appearing tend to have more views. Video yang tak ada muka ni jarang view. So it tells. Right? It tells. Even you can see from other video as well. Those yang ada face ni tend to have more. I think if you go to YouTube, if you search, you'll see all this trend. The thumbnail has a lot of faces. Okay. So and then the YouTube Studio, some people ask here the features, the one I'm trying to show you just now. Once you go to your studio, you get to do many control. Like you can go for playlists. You can check your playlist. You can go for analytics. Yang tak nak tunjuk. Nanti orang tahu how much I earn. Okay. You can go to analytics. Every video will have its own analytics actually. You akan know, what happen is, every video will tell you bila people stop. Bila people stop watching. You can see here. This video actually 8 minutes, tapi people stop by 1 minute 44. Something's not right, betul tak? Kalau saya nak, tapi video ni dah lama, 2013. I think because the version dah lama. The PowerPoint that I did here was raw version. Of course, people not interested anymore. So they will watch, and all that. So if you notice your video, mana yang you did, let's say for 5 to 10 minutes, suddenly people watch mostly, almost towards the end, that means your video is good. Then you need to do marketing strategy. Marketing strategy is you change your thumbnail a bit from time to time. Your thumbnail can be changed from time to time. Dia tak fix. A lot of people, dia upload video, thumbnail tu dia biar sahaja sampai forever. Actually, this thumbnail for my how to design magazine using PowerPoint, I have changed it 5 times. Right? I follow the the recent trend. Even though I'm using the old PowerPoint, but I try to change the thumbnail from time to time. So if you click on this video, you can go to details. Okay, the thumbnail here, nampak tak? So you can just delete this or change, download or change lah. Actually delete pun boleh, tapi change, and then you upload your own video, upload your own thumbnail here. So you can change your thumbnail. Contoh, this video has more views now, right? Some people say more than 1 million views, so just to lure people. Kalau Dr. Bird, I think there's one that he did. I think there's one here. Can't remember whether. Let me say, go to video. He likes to have like once in a while he will change like this video has how many views, that kind of strategy lah, can change your thumbnail. So what I mean here is when you upload your video, if you notice your video is working and people are paying attention to your video, then you might want to change your thumbnail to lure people to watch it more. This video, for example, I loaded so many times zaman guna window movie maker zaman dulu 2013. Now it has about 90k views. Without me realizing, it's already people are still watching it. So you can also do editor in YouTube. There's an editor itself. If you don't have any, if you don't have any tool, you don't want to invest time to learn any tools, you can just use the YouTube one. The moment you upload your video, don't publish yet, put it private or whatever you want, or unlisted, but private will be best. Then you go to editor, then you can edit. But the editing is very minimal. You can do trimming, cut mana yang you tak nak, right? Or you add background music, kan? Add background music kat sini lah ni, atas ni audio. Add. Mine because I tak nak edit yang ni lah sebab dah ada video audio. If you click on audio, you will have a selection of audio to include all the background music lah if you want to. Kalau you monetize this, you sign up for monetization. Maksudnya you sign up untuk dapat duit. Sebab untuk syarat untuk dapatkan monetization, kena ada 1,000 subscribers dulu, then kena ada 4,000 view. Watch hours, bukan 4,000 view, 4,000 watch hours. 4,000 jam, 4,000 hours. Kalau my case, took me about 6 months. Dululah, took me about 6 months to achieve that goal. For most people will take more than a year. So you kena capai dulu 1k subscribers, kemudian 4,000 watch hours. So how do you reach these hours? Senang saja. Kalau you upload satu video tu 1 jam 60 minit, you need to make sure ada 4,000 orang view that video sampai habis. You know what I mean? Of course satu tu tak cukup. That's why I said if you really want to achieve that, you need to upload a lot of videos. Sebab the short one will have more and you accumulate it to 4,000 watch hours. All right. One strategy is a lot of people are doing this to speed up the process adalah dengan buat webinar live. So kalau you buat webinar, kan video webinar biasanya 1 jam, 2 jam kan panjang-panjang. So you upload saja ke your YouTube channel tu banyak, webinar 1, webinar 2, all this video, or even your classes sebenarnya. Maybe you want to look back your Webex recording and mana you chunk mana yang penting tu 30 minit and all that you upload. You never know that people will actually appreciate it and then people will actually watch it. And towards the end. So you build that watch hour. Kalau you nak monetize lah kan, tu syarat dia. Kalau you tak dapat capai 4,000 watch hour, you kena tunggu dulu then baru dapat monetize. Tapi monetization sekarang pun susah sebab US dah tax. So monetization on YouTube is really hurting a lot of content creators because tax for US citizen 25%, non-US citizen 10%. So US actually tax you in US dollar pula tu. So in my case, I walaupun non-US citizen, I paid about 500 USD last year to US government because of YouTube punya content. So pro and cons. To me, that's not the aim. But what happened is whatever you earn from YouTube will also be taxed. Malaysia will start to introduce this soon, I think. Dia tak cover lagi YouTube kalau tak silap. Dia hanya tax the companies and also e-commerce kan. I think soon they will start taxing on the content creators juga. But that's beside the point. If you're earning lah kan. For our case, we are not really earning much. In fact, my case pun taklah earning much sangat for this one. It's just random punya need. Okay, so this is editor. So you can add all this. You can do some editing and all that if you don't want to use other tools. comment, of course, comment, you can turn off and turn on. A lot of people ask me, should I turn on the comments? I don't like reading comments, all these nasty comments. Turn on. You know why? If you don't like the comment, you can hide users from channel. They will view the comment. They don't know that you actually hide it. Other people will not be able to see it. Senang. Don't have to worry. Faham tak? Macam I think Facebook now pun ada kan? Facebook, kalau you see some nasty comment, you don't have to delete it because the moment you delete, the person will be, dia kata, dia ni apa pula delete my comment ni, tak nak terima, tak open sangat. Tak apa, you hide saja. Bila hide, orang yang post tu will nampak komen tu, tapi orang lain tak nampak. You get what I mean? So you save the hassle of responding to this unnecessary stress. Kalau saya tak suka, I hide user from channel. Tu sajalah. Alright. And tak perlu delete pun. Kalau you tak suka. Kalau betul-betul macam ada another thing is spam. Yang spam tu delete sajalah. Yang spam macam kan YouTube banyak spam sebenarnya. Kadang-kadang dia ada keluar link lah yang merapu-rapu. That one you can delete. Ataupun you just right click, report. So YouTube akan auto delete from time to time. Dia ada helpful review. Actually YouTube punya censoring bot ni quite intelligent. It will detect all the spam. Dia auto helpful review. So when you come here, you can review lah. In like this case, kalau tengok my video ni, ada 2 komen saja. Sedih kan? Tapi 90k view. Why do I encourage you to turn on the comment? Because you never know. I tunjuk my content dulu. You never know when your video start to hit something and you get idea to do more things. Kan? Sebab dalam komen tu orang kata, boleh tak you buat ni sebab saya tak faham lah. You know what I mean? Ataupun boleh tak you terangkan lagi lanjut, ataupun my channel mostly get people yang random. Like this one kan, let me show you one example. Mana dah? Sekejap, I go back to my list easier. This one, how to write research. I did a very simple. In fact, this was for my class sebenarnya. Untuk kelas saya. Nampak memang simple, very straightforward. Because my student were asking me, macam mana nak buat part implication ni? Duk baca-baca tak faham macam mana nak tulis research implication. So I did a very simple one, 7 minit saja. And then when I noticed this video pun macam merapu sikit in a way, audio pun tak berapa clear. But I get 20k view. This was 2 years ago. Kalau you baca komen bawah-bawah ni, they are not my student. They are all over the world. The Philippines lah. This one from America. Thank you for clearing. This one pun from America. You terkejut. All these people, dari mana dia orang? Even yang ni, very good video. Dia tanya, for practical application, dia post. Bila dia tanya macam ni, kita pun dapat idea. So, kita pun jawab lah. So it builds your academic reputation sebenarnya. And I get email a lot from this video. Maksudnya orang yang tak puas hati dengan my comment tu, mungkin bukan tak puas hati, dia rasa tak cukup. Dia nak seek further. So they will email me and ask further. Ada hantar dia punya draft and ask me to take a look and all that. You never know. And all this is so shocking to me lah, because I thought only my student yang tengok orang daripada even different parts of the world. So comment is very critical in opening. Jangan limit. Ada yang takut malu nak deal with the comment, dia turn off comment. In fact, in analytical, YouTube analytical, if you turn on comment, people will not watch your video. Sebab, kalau perasan, mana-mana video yang turn off comment bawah tu, biasanya video tak tinggi ataupun people don't really watch until the end because they don't have the chance to respond to whatever you are trying to comment. That's why kalau you tengok channel apa-apa sekalipun, merapu ke, tak merapu ke, dia biar je komen bawah tu. Sebab dia nak orang respond. And in analytics juga, video yang banyak komen akan appear first. I think one reason why my video dapat view tinggi sebab banyak komen kat bawah ni. So bila banyak orang komen, the video will get a suggested list in the contohlah you type how to write research application, my video will be among the first few yang appear dulu. So jangan biarkan kosong. Right? Of course some lecturers yang bijak, which I also encourage you to do kalau nak, ask your student to comment. Mana-mana video yang you kata you rasa you nak boost the profile sikit, you can ask your student to comment, leave a comment on my video. Tu yang you tengok selalu kan. Kalau you tengok certain video, dia kata jangan lupa like and then tulis di komen tu kan. Dia akan tanya soalan and then they ask people to comment bawah tu sebab dia nak the analytic punya hit. Alright, so that's one strategy to increase. Okay, so last one would be for the features would be the subtitle. I think a lot of people overlook this on YouTube. In your setting channel too, I think for the permission, I think, let me see, where was it? Channel. I'm not sure whether it's still macam tak ada dah. Yang ni only comment you can hear. Tak ada dah. I think one thing good about YouTube is like the subtitles can be created by the community. It doesn't have to come from you. Maksudnya contoh, if my videos are watched by somebody else using a different language, they can initiate the subtitle for you if they want to. Let's say my video is in Malay, right? And this person is from US, and he found that my video is interesting, and he also know Malay. He translated in English for me. All he has to do is, in fact, if you go to any video, you can suggest this transcript if you enable it. One example is this one. I noticed the other day, I didn't realize this until somebody this one. Jom belajar Mendeley, cara urus. I make it in Malay actually, and there was somebody who created in English, and somebody actually created in Indonesian. I pun terkejut, siapa pula ni? Rupa-rupanya this video was shared by 2 lecturers in a Indonesian University. Suruh pelajar dia tengok video ni, cara nak guna Mendeley. So that the student maybe, I don't know, maybe dia generate Indonesian punya subtitle for me. So this is the benefit of uploading it to YouTube. Daripada, if you share on WhatsApp or Telegram, it's not really benefiting. So one thing good about YouTube is it's very community driven. It's online and people can appreciate your sharing lah ni, kan? And if you want to edit like English, so you can just go to edit. Very simple, nampak? Dia dah ada time frame. And you need to choose what language you want, right? Contoh, you can play this video. So you can check lah, by time frame. So dia dah susun according to the time frame. So mana yang ada error, you can fix it directly. So this is called soft subtitle. The subtitle can be edited. I don't recommend you to do hard subtitle. Hard subtitle ialah yang you do on the video itself tu, yang tak boleh ditukar, kan? Hard subtitle means yang dah di embed on the, like you use all these tools, you create the subtitle, you put it on the video itself. Kenapa? When you notice some error there, you need to reproduce the video, kan? You need to edit and then republish the video, and you need to delete the video again and re-upload. So it takes time. In soft type subtitle like this, you can change it anytime you like. Right? For example, you notice some typo or the words is wrong, then you can type. And soft subtitle also allows cross translation to other languages. So I can for example, I can maybe save draft first. I can go to Indonesian one. I don't know whether this is there. Yeah. I pun terkejut juga. Macam mana boleh ada bahasa Indonesia? Saya pun tak. Hello, apa khabar? Alright, even though I use English. You see, my language is actually English.
Hello, apa khabar semua? Salah satu cabaran dalam proses melakukan
this one is so lah, but hello, I don't know lah. Okay, but anyhow, what I mean here is, because it's soft, right? You get to change, right? You get to change it from time to time, right? So this is subtitle punya benefit. You don't have to do this. Google, owning Google Translation, now they use corpus-based data, big data, very, very efficient now. If you notice, even BM very good now. You type in Malay pun, dia punya translation now tak macam dulu, because dulu dia guna word-to-word translation. Now dia guna contextualized punya translation, and the translation is very good. So you don't, in fact, kalau kita watch video pun kadang-kadang subtitle, we don't have to have word-per-word translation. We get the gist. We know the content will be fine, right? So you don't need to have word per word translation, but subtitles helps. For our students, I think in my case, if I'm teaching certain content in English, for example, the Malay subtitle always help, because the slower learner will need it, because they need to understand what you're trying to say, so they will turn on the subtitle. Or some people call it closed caption. It's the same thing, closed caption or subtitle. On the mobile app, if you turn on the subtitle, it will always appear whenever you watch any video until you turn it off. And if the video has one, if the video has no subtitle, then it will not auto-generate, okay? So that's the thing. Copyright. If you're worried about copyright, there are two matches here. If somebody else uploaded video of you, then they will put a copyright strike. I mean, they will notice somebody is uploading it. Removal request is when you uploaded something and some people said you are using some copyrighted material, then you will be getting a copyright strike notice. You don't have to be worried lah. Ada yang pensyarah kata dia dapat email tu, dia terkejut, dia ingatkan ada legal action. No. YouTube will just warn you first that your content contains some copyrighted material or somebody else reported your video has some copyrighted things. So all you have to do is to consider two things. One, to remove that part with the copyrighted stuff. Two, to remove the video completely. Or to make the video unlisted only for your student or only for your viewers or whatever lah, private, not for public. Okay, so these are the copyright punya part lah. So I think it's quite intelligent now. So for example, you're using audio, if you're using pop music, copyrighted music without any permission, then it will ask you to take it down ataupun mute or change to other music, that kind of thing lah. So far, I think they are not that effective in detecting copyrighted materials like printed materials. Tapi it's fine anyway. After all, some people ask me, kalau kita tunjuk material macam reference book on the YouTube, is it allowed? It's okay because you are not asking people to do some illegal stuff. In fact, the book owner will be happy sebab you promote dia punya buku, kan? You get what I mean? Because they should be happy because you're promoting. But if you're setting something bad, you have to be careful. Contoh, you kata buku ni tak payah belilah. Buku ni, tak ada benda then you have to be careful because you are saying something which is not ethical lah in a way. So, but if you are sharing your content, like you're teaching in class, you have some materials that you have, it's fine as long as you put the references down there and you tell what is book. The publisher will be more than happy, right, to have you do that. I selalu dapat email juga. They call it a paid review lah, promotional review. Certain publisher, they ask you to promote dia punya buku dalam video you. I selalu reject sebab I tak suka buat benda-benda macam ni. In a way, tapi kalau you are fine, you can do it. Opportunity lah, I have a lot of software juga. Contoh kalau I upload something about one software A, contoh Mendeley, EndNote will come and see. I think EndNote dah approach me a few times juga. Dia kata, why don't you review EndNote? I tak nak sebab I know EndNote mahal. Tak semua pelajar mampu nak beli the license and only certain universities are purchasing the license, kan? And if I promote it and in a way macam I ethically tak apa betul lah. So I promote whatever I think is comfortable. So without any pay. Cuma if you do paid review, whenever you upload the video, you need to self-declare ya. Permulaan video tu you kena declare. Kalau tak, YouTube akan ban you. You kena declare that you are doing paid review. Macam ni kalau monetization dia kata on, kan, you need to declare that you are being paid to do this. I have one or two video tapi yang ni tak lah, not because of paid juga sebab dia yang bahagian ni dulu. All these things that you see here ni, tablet lah bla 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 ni, I dibayar untuk review. Maksudnya I dapat benda tu and then I also being paid to review. Macam yang ni zaman dulu lah, zaman belajar and all that. So they give me the thing and they pay me to review. So I have to declare at the beginning that this is a paid review. Kalau you tak declare, YouTube akan take it down because you are not being transparent to your users. So users will know anyway because you're doing something because you are paid. So you need to be careful jugalah. Kalau lah next time bila dah dah start jadi popular, who knows, ataupun people approach you to do some paid review, you have to self-declare. Macam Dr. Azblah pun sama dengan saya, dia tak suka review produk sebenarnya. Kalau you notice, walaupun dia jenama Proton sebenarnya, Proton tak bayar dia pun. Kalau Proton bayar dia kena declare lah, kan? Dia akan kata, video ini ditaja oleh something like that. Kan, you notice some people say this lah. Ataupun untuk video ini, disokong ataupun dibayar oleh something. You have to self-declare. Kalau tak, YouTube can take down your video. Okay, these are all the video features that you have to notice, just for your information. Ada soalan before we maybe take a quick on the question, then we go to the next part dah. Ada tak? Kalau ada soalan. Tak ada takut. Dr. Hasbullah ada okay, YouTube akan bayar bagaimana? YouTube tak bayar because of subscriber. Yang tu misconception by the way. YouTube bukan bayar mengikut subscribers ya. Kalau you ada 1,000 subscribers sekalipun, the minimum untuk monetize, YouTube akan bayar rate berdasarkan views. Dia tengok view per video tu. Contoh kalau your video banyak view, and also dia bukan view juga kan, dia macam mana kata? ad yang appear in your video tu. Kan kalau you tak gunakan YouTube Premium, you akan nampak iklan-iklan yang keluar in your video kan. Dia akan jenis-jenis video yang keluar dalam iklan yang keluar dalam video you. So kalau kerap keluar iklan macam my video, kalau yang biasanya Grammarly, dia akan keluar lah. Dia berdasarkan kepada berapa yang all this company pay YouTube. So YouTube akan bayar certain portion to us. Normally lah satu view you akan dapat dalam 5 sampai 10 sen. 5 sen sampai 10 sen USD. So kalau 10 sen you dapat dalam 40 sen lah sekarang kan per view. Syarat dia minimum 30 second. Kalau orang view your video less than 30 second, you tak dapat bayaran. So you need to lure people to watch your video to at least 30 second baru you dapat bayaran lah. Kalau ni untuk yang nak monetize lah kan. So of course subscribers kalau you tinggi, kalau you contoh berjuta-juta, of course your view akan tinggi sebab every time you post something, your subscriber akan dapat dulu. And kalau your subscriber ramai, of course the viewer tinggi lah kan. Kenapa ML Studio video dia selalu berjuta-juta? Sebab subscriber dia berjuta. So bila dia upload less than 2 hours dah sampai setengah juta. You know that kind of concept lah. That's why there's always this concept yang subscriber kena tinggi. Tak semestinya, right? Cuma kalau video you impactful lah kan. Ada lagi soalan? Okay, gaya terbaru. Yes, gaya intro Dota memang selalu sebab dia muda kan. kalau saya bagi komen pensyarah kanan dengan profesor kanan macam ni, dia kata mana saya nak buat macam ni. Tak apa, you can do a very calm and composed kind of style, right? Would there be any issue on copyright when we include I want to deal with this, okay? Don't use the copyrighted stuff. There are so many free one. You see the Dota sebelah, walaupun dia ada watermark and all that, those are free video, free clips. In fact, kalau you selalu tengok YouTube, you akan nampak video ni macam dah pernah tengok dalam video ni. Ada keluar pula dalam video tu sebab they use the same source. Later on, I'll show you some sample of sources that you can take. So you don't have to worry about that. As long as you make sure the clips and video come from all these royalty-free sources, bukan copyrighted sources. Tapi kalau you put on copyrighted sources, contohnya you record from somewhere which is copyrighted, contoh iklan Petronas ke and all that, you have to be careful because those are copyrighted content. Ataupun you record video daripada TV ke, TV3 ke, those are all copyrighted materials. Kecuali you telah mendapat kebenaran daripada publisher tu. If you have obtained the written permission, then it's fine. So you can write to the person actually. If you found some useful video from publisher and you want to use it in your video, or you maybe in your class, to be part of your teaching video, you can write to the publisher. Can you allow me to show a snippet of your video? If they allow it, then you put it. Kalau dia tak allow, then you use other clips lah, right? That's the strategy. Okay, 3 tips before I move on to the tools. Quick one, just to recap sebenarnya. Get a niche, right? I think you can get a niche based on your discipline. And choose, my advice is choose something that you really want to develop on. Especially those like me who are still long way to go in your academic career. You might want to think about what do you want to major in? What do you want to be recognized in, right? Orang nampak you dia dah tahu dah. Okay, dia ni memang dalam bidang ni. You need to think about that. Don't do it just out of random. I saw some lecturers who, contoh dia bidang dia chemical engineering, tapi YouTube channel dia duk share tentang Google Meet, Google Classroom, only. No sharing about chemical engineering. So and you will see that after a few upload, dia dah lose momentum. Dia dah stop. I think ada yang dah stop. After pandemic ni, ramai yang dah stop dah. Masa pandemic tu berkobar share. After that dah stop. Sebab you don't build that momentum in terms of what you want to share. Kalau macam tu sebelah, dia keep on sharing sebab dia bukan share tentang Google Meet, Google Classroom. Dia share tentang bidang yang dia memang minat. Mechanical engineering. Memang benda yang dia minat. In my case, I'm sharing something that I like, which is educational technology and all that. So I can keep on sharing. Pandemic ke, tak ada pandemic ke, online learning ke, tak ada online learning ke, I will still share. So you have to think about that. So get a niche that you want to be recognized in. So use it as a marketing tool lah in a way. So you need to be very comfortable explaining it without sounding scripted. Kalau I think it's quite noticeable kan. If you do a video sharing something that you don't really know, it's quite obvious in the video lah. It's quite obvious in the video that you don't know that thing. So you are just reading from the slides or something. Structure it well. I'll talk about it in a minute. Structure A1 means you need to learn the structure. By the time you watch all this video that I showed you just now, you kind of know the pattern already. Pattern ni sama saja. Right? The pattern is similar. And then add your style. Kalau you tengok Dr. Hasbullah, dia ada style dia. Dia akan kata, I think kalau tak apa khabar semua, dia ada style dia. Macam siapa dia? Khairul Amin pun ada sana. Hello guys, macam mana. Dia ada catchphrase dia. You want to be recognized with your style, right? Right? In my case, I selalu sebab cikgu-cikgu, right? Apa khabar cikgu-cikgu semua? Macam tu. Because my target is cikgu, right? Contoh lah kan. So if you watch certain video, you know your style, people will recognize it according to your style. Macam Dr. Berg's style, dia is the whiteboard with the marker writing. Every video memang macam tu. So people will know, yang ni Dr. Berg, style dia macam tu. Yang ni Dr. Hasbullah, style dia macam ni. You want to be recognized with the style. And the thing is, you don't have to please everyone. Yang tu misconception, another thing about edutubing. You don't have to please everyone because you're dealing with people who like your style. Macam kita mengajar lah kan. You have 100 students, not all 100 will love you. You have to accept that fact. Because they have different preferences in learning, right? Some will like your style, some will not like your style, you know, some will prefer a different style. That's why during the pandemic, they are happy because they can learn from anyone. Kan? They don't have to depend on you. I was telling this to, I think the previous session that I katakan, dulu kalau dalam kelas, dia dengar kita saja. Now, they have so many lectures teaching that online. Tak suka saya explain tentang formula ni, dia cari Saman Han. Saman Han lagi handsome. So, dia pergi dengar Saman Han. Oh, dia faham Saman Han. Dia tak faham saya punya. Tak apalah. Tapi pelajar dua orang ni, dia suka pula style saya. Okay, tak apalah. Video saya dua orang ni saja yang tengok. Tak apa, because we suit to that kind of learner. Like I shared about the research application just now. I thought that kind of video will only appeal to my students sebab the way gaya I buat pun macam gaya local. Very localized, in fact, I use some Malay words in the video juga. I didn't expect it to be watched by those in the US and all that. You never know because your style of explanation somehow, okay, make it easier to understand for those in different parts of the world. You get me? So, don't feel like you have to please everyone. Don't, kalau tak memang you tak lena tidur, tengok 2 view saja video saya tu. Alright. Okay, this is the structure. This is the typical structure of a video. 10-second teaser. It's always 10-second teaser ataupun they call it 10-second hook. Your first, in fact, tak perlu sampai 10 second pun, 3 second saja pun cukup dah. Notice all the video I showed you, they always start with a question. So that question can tie into the objective. Right? It's always this. I think these two can go together. These two parts can go together. 3 to 10 seconds. You need to hook them immediately. You don't wait for after a few minutes baru nak hook them. Right? A teaser, 10 second teaser, like, apa beza ni? Alright, okay. Start with the question. That would be fine. You can start with the misconception or start with your topic immediately, right? Macam Dr. Bird dia suka. Okay, in this video we're going to learn about the very straightforward. Tak ada macam nak mukadimah terlalu panjang, right? So go straight to the point. That's the style. And then go to your main content. Your main content, if possible, do it in a structured form like a systematic list. Listing. Okay, list 1, list 2, list 3. So people will be able to understand what you're going to cover. If you're doing comparison, then you start with 1 first, and then start with the second one, and then do the comparison. So there's a list that you need to tell them. Macam Dr. Berg, dia suka buat the listing on the whiteboard. Then every time dia finish that thing, he will tick it. Dia tick. Ataupun kadang-kadang dia buat list tu 1 to 10, and then the word will appear. Same thing. Kalau Dr. Hasbullah, dia suka guna keywords appearing. So same thing lah, whatever you want. Tapi it's quite clear that the structure is outlining, not long sentences, right? Outlining. Explain using clear example. Explain using analogy, whatever you can. And then recap or call to action. Last one will be recap normally. It's always good to recap. We tend to forget this. So di hujung-hujung, just recap the key thing. Tak perlu semua, just recap the key thing. So in this video, now you know the difference between this and this, right? And so let's do something. Okay, let's do something tu is call to action. Biasanya, call to action will be the comment down there. Okay, now that you know the difference between it, can you give me some example of blah 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 blah? Write in the comment below. Then people will blah 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 write lah. Maybe some yang akan tulis, some yang akan tak tulis. But for your student, you can pause them lah in a way. You can say, tulis kat bawah tu. Okay, the comment and all that. Call to action. Kalau video entertainment and all that, they tend to say, I like the video and subscribe to my channel. In your case, you tak perlulah, kan? Kalau Edutuber ni tak perlu sangat nak force people to subscribe to your channel or tu. Tapi kalau you nak buat, tak apa. You can always ask people to subscribe or like your video. But what is more important is to how to put it, to call to action, like ask them to comment or reflect. You know, if you don't want them to comment, you can ask them to reflect on the things that you have shared. Okay. Suggested duration 5 to 20 minutes. There's a misconception juga, video kena pendek. Tak semestinya. Ada yang 20 minit pun tak apa. Asalkan jangan more than 20 minutes lah, I notice. Kalau terlalu panjang pun tak bagus. Kecuali kalau webinar semua tu. Even webinar pun kita chunk. If you have a lot of content, split in them into different video. Okay. Kalau banyak sangat content you split lah. Macam Dr. Azbali, you can see lah, dia split. Even Dr. Bird pun dia split and split by question. Okay. Some key things, success factors. Yang ni daripada journal. This journal paper ni daripada Dr. Petier ni in Spain. He actually gather all the Edutubers online. They check the videos and do some analysis. Key is this one, consistent uploading. Maksudnya kalau you upload satu video, lepas setahun baru upload the second one, memang tu tak ada lah kan. It won't help, right? So you need to make sure you have the consistency. Usually weekly, at least once every 2 weeks. Kalau boleh, every fortnight you upload one. In your case, if you have classes, then you can have every week kalau you nak. Kalau rasa malas sangat ataupun too busy, once a week pun okay. Alright, ataupun you know kalau every 2 weeks, it means only 2 videos per month sebenarnya, kan? Kalau ikutkan lah ni kan, kalau once every 2 weeks dalam 2 weeks. Average length is about 5 to 30 minutes. You can see here, 5 is the ideal number, 30 is the max. Clear video structure, use language suitable to target learner. I think this is important. I told you just now, use language suitable to target learners. Who are your target actually, right? Little editing. They notice also, the video yang you notice, even the Edutuber and all that, there's very little editing. Nothing much. The only thing they did was just adding the clips. Even the clips can be taken out if you don't want to, right? The clips can be taken out. Another paper, this is a more recent one. Yang ni dia also educational videos on YouTube. Dia buat, this is lagi panjang. Dia buat lagi longer study. YouTube translation feature useful. This why. So kalau your videos are in a different language, so contoh you buat dalam Malay, you want to appeal to the people who are speaking English, then you might want to do the translation ataupun just use the automated translation. Again, consistent upload. Yang ni selalu repeat ni. Consistent upload of video increases the popularity. You kena consistently upload, right? Macam channel saya pun dah down sikit sebab dah lama tak upload. I think dah 2 bulan kot. Dah tak ada mood sikit. Tak apa. Nanti kena cari balik momentum. Okay. But I notice it's quite true. I notice when I was consistent, every week I get more views. Because I was consistent. I think now my subscriber tertunggu-tunggu bila dia nak upload video baru ni, right? That kind of thing. A video length 20 to 30 minutes, long enough to cover content, short enough to maintain interest. So the one they notice is video yang banyak dapat view are video within 20 to 25 minutes. This is all educational videos, yeah. And the video yang they review are mostly tutorial. Sebab dia teach programming, Java programming and all this, most of the videos. So of course people akan follow because they need to wait for you to finish the coding kan. Contoh the step 1 sampai step 1, that kind of thing. So if you're teaching that kind of subject, you might want to consider this as well. Okay. Okay, let's go to this part. Kat wing ada tu, Prezi video, the two. I noticed, Dr. Akila tanya, I wonder how long does it take for you to create a video from preparing content, recording and kalau you tanya saya, memang you akan terkejut lah, 10 minit. Because most of the thing I share are something that I already use. Contoh kalau I nak buat video on Prezi video now, contoh lah, kan? Contoh, I want to teach you how to use Prezi video. I can immediately open up Prezi video without script. I will just talk about it. I will record and then I will just upload to my YouTube channel. Kalau you perasan on my video on my YouTube channel, I'm mostly like that. And very spontaneous, tak ada script, tak ada apa. But if I'm teaching something which is yang macam how to research application, I have to prepare the content a bit. Normally it take me maybe 1 to 2 hours for a 5 to 10 minutes punya video lah, 1 to 2 hours. But provided the content is already familiar to me. That's why I said you have to do something familiar to you. Jangan buat something yang you're not familiar with, right? And you will struggle because you yourself don't know. So it's very hard for you to explain it, kan? Cari something yang you dah tahu. Tapi kalau you want to go on something that you think is interesting, you can do more research. In fact, kalau you tengok Dr. Berg tu, dia spend quite a long time. Sebab dia study dulu paper, kajian tentang all this thing, because they are doing medical, kan? Medical ni dia kena sensitive sikit. You cannot simply say something, right? So longer time, so you can take your time. But the preparation is more on the content research, background research. Tapi the video is quite straightforward. Buka kamera, cakap. Like how you normally do in class lah, kan? Like how you normally do in class. I'll show you some there are many tools out there, Canva video and all that, but I want to show you Prezi video because people tend to think Prezi is only for the presentation. Dulu kan orang guna Prezi untuk ganti PowerPoint, and some people don't like it because of it. Tapi dia ada Prezi video that you can use to enhance your video. Nanti kita pergi Capwing sekejap saja, tak panjang sebab it's very straightforward. Let me go to Prezi. Siapa pernah guna Prezi video? I'm sure some yang ada yang dah guna. Mana pula main browser ni? Sekejap. Okay, here. Alright, ada yang dah pernah guna. Okay, good. Kalau pergi ke Prezi, Prezi video, sekejap let me show you another one. I want to show you that Prezi has an educator punya account. So, you tak perlu bayar. Canva video tu dah popular lah, right? Canva video tu dah popular. Sekejap. If you go to prezi.com, Prezi.com ya. Of course, you are familiar with the presentation style lah kan. Kalau you pergi ke atas ni, you will see here education. Kan? Go to education. You can try it for free. Ataupun you go to pricing ni, kalau you nak compare. This is individual. Nampak tak? It's $12 per month. And the other free juga. Free dia limit to only one. Kan? Limit to one. Tapi kalau you tekan student and educators, right, the free one will get you, I think, kalau minat 15 minutes. Max record time. Right? But, you can sign up for the Education Plus. Dia kata sini proof education status record. Actually, tak pernah. Tak proof pun. I sign up, tak dululah. I mean, until now. Tak pernah ask pun. I only use my UniMAS email lah. Kalau $3 per month ni, lebih kurang dalam, $3 dalam RM12 lah per month kan. Kalau you bayar setahun dalam 144, lebih kurang RM12 lah sebulan. I think kalau you heavily need this, it's quite useful. In fact, it save a lot of time. Tak perlu buat fancy editing and all that. You consider lah this. Jangan sign up yang individual sebab yang ni mahal sikit. Nampak tak? Jauh beza dia. Just go for this one kalau nak sign up. Nantilah. Kalau tak puas hati, you can start free trial dulu. Dia bagi 7 hari. You try dulu. If you think it's very useful, then you baru sign up. Kalau tak, you just use the free one. You can use up to 5. Boleh buat 5. Boleh cuba dulu. Okay? Now, okay, once you go into Prezi video, you dah sign in. Kalau you tengok dia punya teaser ni, you dah nampak lah style dia. So, there are many ways of doing the video. So, I can create your own now. One thing I like about Prezi video ialah, they have 2 version. The web version. Let me just turn on my camera on Webex sekejap ya. Sebab I nak guna video kat mana ni pula ni. Okay. Tak dapat. Tak dapat pula sebab Webex kacau my. Tak apa. You can allow video. Sebab you can allow your video, right, to show it. Let me just try and stop. Sekejap. I think sebab I need to stop Webex ni. Sekejap ya. Let me start Prezi desktop sekejap. Prezi next, okay. Let me start Prezi next sekejap ya. Sebab I nak tunjuk the video, the web camera capture so that. Okay, let me see whether it works. Okay, boleh dah. Okay, maaf. Sebab bila when you have macam mana kata, bila kita ada Webex ataupun Zoom and kita turn on camera, so bila kita guna app lain yang nak gunakan kamera sama, dia jadi tu, saya kena restart tadi. Okay, anyhow, so this is Prezi. Boleh nampak kan? Can you see the, I tutup dulu yang YouTube ni. Sekejap, boleh nampak kan? So sekejap, I hilang pula your view. Okay, so this is Prezi video. So kalau you tak suka your face, you tak suka your face, you can turn it off and then you can turn on your face, right? And You can import your PowerPoint slide if you want to, right? Or do whatever you want. So this is add your words. For example, you can have intro. Apa ni nak tulis ni? Video 1. Okay. And you can actually edit text, or you can change the gambar and all that. So you can add as many as you like. Maybe keyword lah. Let me just show keyword so that it's easier for you to see. So let's say you are explaining something about Edutuber. Okay, Edutuber 1. Tip 1. Okay. And then Edutuber tip 2. Okay. So then next one, maybe you don't want to. You want to put pictures. So you can put pictures or upload something here, right? But this is a bit pixelated lah. It's not really a good picture. Find something better. All right. Okay. So now, this is a basic sample dulu. I tunjuk the basic sample dulu. So once you create start your video, so you can turn off and turn on. You can see here, right? And then you can go to the keyword, right? And then go to your, you can move around, right? Right now I'm not recording yet, right? I'm not recording yet. So what you can do here is click on practice and record. Click this one. Okay, now it's starting recording. And you can start talking, blah, 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 blah. Okay, now today we'll be learning about Edutuber. This is tip number 1. Then you can go to tip number 1 if you write other text, and then go back to you, and then go to the next one, blah, blah, blah. Now, even though you are seeing the whole screen here, the recording is actually recording only this part. Dia tak record yang tepi ni. Okay, it won't record the thing at the side. Okay, so whatever you put in, let's say this one, because it kacau your face, then you can just put it large. All right, then I think I love this because it makes your life easy. Tak perlu nak bising tentang cara nak edit ke apa. You just do your slide nicely. Kalau nak import pun boleh. Kalau tak, you just type it here, the keyword. So simple. Then once done, tekan saja. Ya, ni belum record tadi. Tadi practice. Okay, now baru record. Okay. Tadi if you notice when I click, it's practice dulu kan. Practice lah. Okay, macam ambil aura ataupun vibe dulu. Then baru you tekan sekali lagi. Then baru record lah kan. Okay. Now I resume recording. Whenever you need to pause, you just pause saja. Tak perlu risau. Okay. So hari ni kita akan cerita tentang Edutuber. Sekarang kita pergi ke tip nombor 1. Tip 1 adalah apa? Then you tambah kat sini lah nanti. Tambah siap-siap kat sini. Right. And then you bercakap lah seperti biasa. Then blah 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 blah. Okay. This is template yang simple ya. Maksudnya template yang straightforward. Tak ada guna template yang lain. Okay. Dah siap. Tekan saja done recording. Your video dah ni. We boleh view dulu. Belum record tadi. Tadi practice. Okay. Now baru record. Okay. Nampak tak? Kalau you ada content yang siap-siap, the keyword, kalau you nak buat video 3 to 5 minutes, I think less than a few minutes dah siap dah video you. Kan? This is how I normally do video lah. But you don't follow my style. My style is I suka spontaneous punya explanation because I'm teaching something that I already know. If you are teaching something that you need to do a bit of background research and content research, then you need to spend a bit of time lah kan to check on the content and everything. Then you put it here, then you start recording. Do not start recording or start doing video on topics or things that you are not familiar with or you are not comfortable explaining. I think that's the tip yang paling penting. Go for something that you really know about it. Even if you have to give example or spontaneous thing, it's clear, right? It's already there. Okay. So if you need to trim, let's say there's a certain part you don't like, you can trim. Right? You can trim. Contoh, mana-mana yang nak trim. This is trim lah, kan? And kalau dah puas hati, save. Now, dia kat sini public ataupun unlisted. You can use the Prezi platform itself to share. Some of you maybe for now maybe you think that I don't want to share it on YouTube first. I want to give it to my student for feedback first. So you can share your link, this one, to your student first. So maybe student ada comment sikit, give you some blah 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 and all that. Then you do some changes. Once you're happy, you can download it. So once you download the video, it's in MP4 format. You upload the video to your YouTube. You get what I mean? So this is a safe space for you to kind of like play around with the video first lah, get some feedback before you share it to the rest of the world. I have a few colleagues who do not like to use YouTube sebab dia macam ada few comment tadi malu segan kan, so they only guna Prezi sahaja. They share the link to the pelajar. So kadang-kadang I terfikir juga susah-susah dia buat video, might as well share to the rest of the world kan. But terpulang kepada your own preference. If you think you don't want to share it with the world yet, you just want to share with your student, then you can keep it here. So because it's a safe space, nobody will be able to watch it. Now, let's say if you go to my dashboard now, let's say you don't like that plain template yang straightforward tu, you want to use some of the templates. You go to your dashboard. There are quite a number of templates that you can use. How to put it, same like Canva. Some of you may have used Canva for graphic design and that. Canva also has video presentation, right? So you can make use of the video presentation. So these are the video I created just now. You can go to Prezi Video, right? There are some comment here. Go to Prezi Video, right? There are some recommended video for you to watch. Okay. So you can use, how to put it? Where was it? All project, or you can create yourself first. Record a video report, video lesson and all that. Use this template. These are called template lah kan. There are many. Let's say if you want, you can create the slide here first. Or because we are so familiar with PowerPoint already, so we can create the content siap-siap di PowerPoint, then we can import it later. But if you want to record it live here, you want to use some of the template here, you can just record a video lesson. Use this template. If you watch this side panel and all that, this is a different view. Oops. Where was it? This one has no content. Wait, let me delete. Where is my content? Oh yeah, here. But then again, similar. I think something is. Where was it? Oh, here. Okay, template. Okay, choose template. Okay, sorry, because I'm used to the desktop. Yeah, by the way, if you don't want to use the online version, you can get the desktop app here. So you download the Prezi app, the one I show you. It looks like this. Like this, similar. Okay, I sign in using a different account here. So you gunakan yang ni, so you can convert from your PowerPoint. Kalau dah ada PowerPoint, just convert. Kalau tak, you create from template here. Alright? Okay. Then you can choose from here, template, choose template. Yang ni, this is what I meant. Okay, if you don't like certain style, like this one, you can pick and choose. I think I need to change my camera. Okay, choose camera dulu. Okay, lupa nak change. Template that you love to have, all this thing. Maybe it's not clear with the video, but type something here lah. Contoh useful, okay, and then flexible, easy. Okay, let's say. So then that makes it clearer. So when you use the template here. So it feels different, okay? So when you move from slide to slide, in fact, I'm making it easy because I'm typing keyword. Kalau you nak, sebenarnya, you can play around with this thing kat tepi ni, and you can add visual. So you can overlay with some useful things that you want to add from your, all this, gambar ke apa ke, video ke, you can actually overlay kan kat tepi. Another one would be all this. You can choose your camera here, microphone here. If you notice something wrong with your microphone, you can choose it here. The thing is, Prezi dia guna slide, so you can do the Prezi slide dulu, template siap-siap cantik-cantik, then barulah you buat video pun boleh. Lagi mantap, lagi senang lah. Because the Prezi punya present ni kan dia dah ada all this template yang menarik. You can choose from template. dia dah ada banyak template yang menarik ni, so you can do the template first. Dia macam Canva lah, but this one is specific only for presentation, so you can choose all this yang cantik-cantik ni, siapkan dulu your tu, then barulah you pergi ke Prezi Video, then you can just use Prezi Present, nampak tak? So sambil record the video, sambil gunakan the slide lah. Okay, so I think very straightforward and very simple to use, nothing really fancy. Tak adalah macam itu. Kalau you nak buat macam collaborative recording, you can use video conferencing. You can present live alongside your content. Yang macam ni, live video conferencing style. Tapi yang ni you kena guna app lagi senang lah. Contoh you nak buat style macam ada macam temu bual and all that, right? So one or two person. So you can use that. But normally I think we will just use the straightforward one lah. Yang quick record ni, yang macam I tunjuk tadi. Okay? So very simple. Kalau nak buat video yang simple, very straightforward, and background, kalau you nak guna green screen boleh tak you pilih background yang sesuai sikit lah, yang cantik sikit. Yang macam Dr. Hasbullah, dia memang ada satu position yang dia record di rumah dia, so you can create one position. Tak perlu terlalu fancy juga, you don't have to be too fancy. Okay, this is Prezi. Now misal kata kalau Prezi dah siap and you dah record the video and everything. Let's say you have done your video on Prezi and you want to do further editing, you can use Capwing. Capwing.com ni free, tak ada subscription, nothing. You want to upgrade pun boleh, tapi tak ada keperluan pun. But if you need it, you can. Alright, if you want to upgrade, it's up to you, but it's free. What happen is Capwing allows you to edit whatever you want according to your video. So Prezi is to record, right? To have some overlay, some nice text overlay done. Let's say you still want to do further editing, like what was mentioned just now. You want to insert some clip. Nak juga insert clip yang in between. So you can use Capwing, right? So whatever video that you have, you can upload it here, right? You click upload. Let me see whether I have some video to upload. Ada tak? Sekejap I cuba cari video sekejap tadi. So you can go to sekejap. Okay, upload your video yang I download tadi. Okay. Dah, okay. So I upload video yang I created from Prezi Video just now, right? I upload, imagine this one. Now, of course, this is a very simple, very short one. You can make, I think you're more creative when it comes to the outlining. But what is more important is the tool is simple to use, right? So once you upload the video that you did in Prezi Video just now, wait for it to kind of process it using Capwing. If you need to do further editing, right? Okay. If you need to do further editing, this is the tool for you to use. Selain, of course, there are many other tools lah, by the way. There's so many tools kan. There are some of you may be familiar with Filmora. Some of you may be familiar with the video editor, right? Or even some other tools like Adobe Premiere or these tools out there. But you can let it load first. But I want to show you, maybe if you don't want to use Prezi from the beginning, you want to use Capwing straight away pun boleh. Go to create new project, boleh terus pergi ke ni, and dia pun allow recording juga. So kalau you nak upload boleh, kalau you nak start with blank canvas pun boleh. Tapi blank canvas ni you kena make sure the size is according to what you want lah, 16:9 for example. Alright, and when you click record, then you will record your you nak record screen pun boleh. Like for example, record screen. Then I will start record my screen. Blah 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 blah. And then if I stop, then the screen will. Tadi practice. Okay, now baru record. Sorry. Okay, yang ni dah siap upload. Okay, I finish this one dulu. Okay, I finish this one dulu. So once you dah record your screen, contoh you terangkan satu video tutorial nak buat something. Once you dah siap macam ni, kan? Bawah ni timeline lah kan, you can edit mana yang you nak, right? You can edit, you nak cut ke, you nak insert ke, alright? You nak add another clip from other video, you can just add from video. Kalau you guna Capwing, all the video kat dalam ni percuma and tak ada issue copyright, no copyright as well. Just pilih saja video yang you nak. Contoh lepas mana tadi? Lepas your video ni, contoh lepas this video, you tunjuk video yang ni. Kan yang selalu you nampak kan, all this klip-klip ni, all this percuma. Di Capwing dia memang dah ada section yang you can cari. Dalam Canva pun ada, Canva YouTube. But yang ni yang percuma lah. Those yang concern tentang copyright boleh cari kat sini. Alright. Kalau nak search, you can search. Contoh you nak search Malaysia, ada. So yang ni semua percuma, tak perlu risau. So sambil-sambil cakap tentang Malaysia umpamanya, right, you can drag the video kat sini, and lepas you cakap, and then the video. Nanti kena tunggu dia load lah, dia tengah load the video. You can do yang ni, contoh yang ni Sarawak ni. Okay, so bila play, dia tunjuk video. Of course you kena pilih video yang bersesuaian dengan your content lah, right? So yang ni, video ni saya tak record audio, but let's say I go back to my video tadi daripada from apa ni? From Prezi kan, I can edit this project after I upload it to Capwing, I can edit it further. Kan? Contoh di tengah-tengah ni I nak insert clip. Okay, what happen is I go to the part that I want to insert, right click, split. Nampak tak split? So now I can move dia. Okay, tapi yang ni tak ada track lagi. So I can add row above, add row above. Ni senang nak guna ni. So add row above. So di tengah-tengah ni, di tengah-tengah ni saya nak tunjuk klip. Misal katalah saya nak tunjuk klip. So I go to video. I go cari YouTube umpamanya kalau ada. Okay, maybe yang ni. So in between this, I nak tunjuk video. Okay, kalau nak audio sama, tak apa. So I cover my face pun boleh. So dia ada row yang you can add. Just add rows. Right click, add row sahaja. So kalau I play, saja, tak perlu risau. Okay. So hari ni kita akan cerita tentang Edutuber. Sekarang kita pergi ke tip nombor 1. So nampak tak? So you can overlay what other videos in this tool itself. You don't need some fancy, heavy video editor ataupun something that you have to pay a lot. Yang ni quite lightweight. Even if you pay for this one for subscription, it's quite cheap because it's online based Capwing. And kalau nak tambah audio, background audio, music, semua kat sini. Nak happy music ke, contohlah I tambah yang ni. Let's say I put this one. Misal kata I nak kat depan ni, I just drag it nearer. Contoh kalau I play, belum record tadi practice. Okay, now baru record. Okay. So I can add audio. So let's say if I want to play with the sound, like I want to solve and all that, you just drag here and there. Semua drag and drop. Okay, so you can play with the sound lah. Okay. These are all free, by the way, no copyright issue. So just choose from this list. Okay, and then transition. Contoh in between ni kalau nak transition, tarik saja transition tu. Sorry, yang ni tak dapat transition sebab tak ada dua benda. Okay, now you kena ada dua. Then you pilih lah transition tu, tambah transition. So nampak tak? So sekejap I delete ni. Annoying pula video ni, audio ni. So you drag and drop sahaja. Kalau ada dua video berterusan, you nak ada transition, you can just okay, nampak tak? Dia ada transition lah. These are transition. Capwing ni menarik sebab dia free flow. You can do whatever you want. Contoh kalau I type here, I can just put a text here. Edutuber makin popular, contoh lah. So I can just add a text. Right? I can change the color I want, whatever I want. And I can do, all this here. Tak perlu, there's no fancy software that you need, all on this screen itself, right? If you don't want your voice, misalnya kata dah letih, right? You want it to be text to speech, you can use the artificial, but I don't recommend lah. I don't recommend. Like if you need a female American here, you can this text will be read out, macam dalam TikTok, right? So let me see if I can.
Edutuber makin popular.
Nampak tak? So let's say Yang ni macam di TikTok tu yang selalu you dengar kan.
Edutuber makin popular.
Bisa katalah kalau you get, you know, of course this is Malay word, so it should be in English, and then it make it more, you know, easier to use. Okay, I mean, yeah, easier to pronounce. So there are other elements. You not add something else and everything. You can do it here. Another thing that is quite popular in Capwing is this one, progress bar. I think you have encountered some video out there yang dia ada progress bar tu. Dia bar akan tunjuk video tu berapa lama lagi. Kalau you tekan kat sini, sebenarnya yang ni tak penting sangat di YouTube sebab di YouTube kita nampak, but if you upload it to Facebook and all that, this would be useful. Contoh kalau I play now, if I add the progress bar, belum record tadi practice. Okay. You can see the progress bar appearing, tapi yang ni tak berapa clear, so I use white. So the progress bar will show. Okay, now baru record. Okay. So the progress bar will tell people how long is the video and all that. So if you like other style, you can use, you know, all this style, but this is a progress bar lah, you know, just to show.
Edutuber map.
Okay. You know, if you need some fancy animation, you can also use Capwing. Not sure whether, yeah, this one. If you have some here, you know, there are many GIF, like whatever GIF that you want, you can include it in your. I think you have encountered probably some video like this, where when you explain something and then there's some random image appearing. So all this it can be done easily using Capwing. Okay, all right. So Capwing is good for editing and also for recording, but I think the Prezi will be easier for most educators sebab dia straightforward, dia tak ada tu. Cuma if you need to edit further, then you can use this tool called Capwing tanpa perlu you know, risau tentang fancy or heavy software lah. But masalah dengan video editing software is always the capacity, because you need a bigger RAM and a bigger processor, because most laptops may not support the export and all that. So yang ni, because it's web based, it's quite lightweight for you to use. Another thing, let me see whether I can show you this. Yeah, I cannot access my, why? Oh, because of the pricing. Let me see. Need to close some. Not sure whether I. Yeah. Another thing about Capwing, kalau you nak guna untuk record screen and camera like this, right? You want to do two things like screencasting. So if you are sharing screen and then you want to share your video itself. So contoh I tengah terangkan cara nak gunakan Capwing ni. Inilah cara-caranya, bla 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 bla, I bercakap continuously and then I stop. You will see that the video dia tak berada di dalam video tu, dia diasingkan. Nampak tak? It's outside of the video. So it means this video, it's flexible and you can, how to put it, you can edit, you can buang, you can do whatever you want with the video. Video itself. Contoh you nak besarkan your muka ke, you know, nak letak ke tepi ke, alright, and you want to, you know, do some editing. It's all flexible because dia asingkan. Kalau yang I selalu guna screencast tu, dia dah dalam video tu, so you cannot remove it. Kan, dia dah record sekali. Yang ni dia diasingkan. It's split from the screen, so you can, it's a bit more flexible in editing the video lah. Okay. Alright, I think this is Capwing. So yang tu record screen and camera, you pergi ke record ni, dia ada screen, camera, audio, so you can do this kind of editing here. So Capwing and Prezi to me are the easiest tool for you to use, and like macam Capwing, dia ada video yang percuma. Kalau you perlukan lagi resources, VDZ is the popular source yang ni. A lot of people are sharing juga yang ni. Yang ni, free stock footage video, dia copyright free. You can use it for your, tengah loading pula. Use it for your video for free, clip yang you want to include. But in fact, all this channel yang macam Capwing semua ni, even Canva, they took it from here. Kan? These are all copyright. Contoh you search Terengganu kalau ada. Let me search kejap before we dah towards the end ni. Kalau ada footage from Terengganu, I'm not sure. Kalau ada, then you see the apa tu? Dia kalau dia tak tulis pro, right? And then it means you can use it for free. You don't have to pay a single cent. Just use it as long as you are not using it for, as long as you're not using it for commercial purposes lah. Macam contoh you buat it dalam untuk di TV ke movie ke, you kena minta permission lah. Dia nampak tak? All this tak ada pro ni, semua percuma ni. Right, it's a very nice video. So you can put it in your video itself. You can just download. Oh yang ni kena bayar. Ke? Oh yang ni iStock, sorry. Tak ada yang free. Yang ni iStock, sorry. Yang bawah ni iStock. So dia tak ada video. Kau nampak ni zero royalty free. So kalau Malaysia maybe ada lah kot. Yang ni daripada iStock ya. iStock ni memang kena bayar. Tapi kalau VDZ, it's free. So you can search some video clip that you think is useful. You just put it in your video, but it's not really compulsory. Kan? Like I said, the content is more important than the clips. Okay, I think I'm done with that. Kalau ada question, so whenever you found some video here, kalau you click, whenever you find any video in VDZ ni, you can just download it and use it. Right. There's so many video clips here. In fact, a lot of channel memang guna video from VDZ. Okay. Yeah. So you just clear free download. So you just download it and then put it in your clip tadi. You're gonna editor like Capwing and all that to kind of how to put it, to kind of put it in between lah. All right. So I think that's all from me. If there are further questions, let me know. Sorry with the technical failure tadi. Kejap sebab kena stop sekejap. Okay.
Okay, baik. Terima kasih atas sharing session yang saya rasa sangat menarik. Okay, daripada Mr. Kee Man. Tapi saya rasa masih ramai lah, termasuk saya, terutamanya saya. Untuk yang kat depan-depan tu masih okey, tapi yang bila dah masuk Prezi, Catwing tu kita orang macam tak berapa nak faham sangat lah. Maksudnya saya berharap lah kalau kita Mr. Kee Man diberikan peluang dan PPBI boleh anjurkan lebih lagi latihan seperti ni. Maybe ada satu sesi khas kan, maybe hari ni Prezi, bila pula nanti Catwing. So kalau macam tu saya rasa maybe insyaAllah ramai yang boleh ikutlah sesi ni dengan baik. Okay, so saya buka kepada sesi soal jawab. Kalau ada lagi soalan untuk Mr. Kee Man, boleh unmute ataupun soalan dekat chat ke kalau ada lagi. So tak ada
Ada dah.
Saya rasa dah tak ada sebab banyak dia bertanya terus tadi kan.
Yes.
Okey, ada yang ada Dr. Najihah tanya, Catwing boleh direct record video atau kena upload?
Capwing boleh buat dua. Dia boleh direct record dan juga upload. So kalau you pergi Capwing tadi, the moment you create new project, kat tepi tu, kat butang-butang on the left, dia ada record. So if let's say you don't want to use Prezi, kalau tak nak guna Prezi, you guna Capwing pun boleh record juga. The advantage dia adalah bila kita guna Capwing untuk record, advantage dia adalah webcam capture dengan screen tu dia asing. Dia tak sekalikan dalam satu video. So dia ada dua video untuk kamera, video untuk yang kita tengah record tu lah, slide kita ke apa ke. So we can play around with the dua video tu. Dia lebih fleksibel. Tu advantage Capwing. Cuma sebab Capwing, kalau mula-mula kita subscribe free plan ni, dia ada 5 video yang tak ada watermark. Lepas 5 tu kita kena bayar untuk hilangkan, tapi watermark dia kecil je lah kat bawah tu, Capwing. Tapi kalau rasa nak buang Capwing tu, watermark tu kena bayar lah, right? Sama juga dengan Prezi sebenarnya. I think 5 juga. Untuk satu video berapa lama masa diambilnya? Maksudnya berapa lama untuk buat? I think again lah, the content tu macam saya kata tadi lah, depend on the content. Kalau content tu memang kita dah prepare awal ataupun kita dah something that which is already, kita familiar with, things that we memang dah tahu, cakap saja, then it will not take long. Kalau like if my case, kalau nak buat 3 minit video berdasarkan topik-topik yang memang saya dah comfortable, it will take less than, paling lama pun maybe 30 minit lah, paling lama. Tu pun sebab kita nak play around with the editing. Kalau sekadar record, with little editing, I think it can take up to 15 minutes. But biasanya average I think 30 minutes to 1 hour lah you can allocate untuk buat 3 sampai 5 minit punya video. Dia lain sikit daripada video yang kita record untuk lecture kan. Macam lecture kita ajar tu, kita just turn on recording, Webex ke apa, and then kita tu lain sikit lah sebab kita mengajar pelajar, ada interaction sikit. But if you're doing on YouTube, you have to think about the fact that you need to convey something yang mungkin tak ada respon kan. Sebab tak ada respon kan, kalau kita ajar pelajar depan kita, pelajar boleh respon. Dan ni kita tak ada respon. So you have to make sure that content yang kita cakap tu memang betul and then straightforward, tak ada ayat yang berjela-jela and all that. So yang tu require a bit of planning lah kan. So kalau if you want a definite answer for how long tu memang susah lah, because dia bergantung kepada topik tu, and also your own comfort level with the tools kan. Kalau yang contoh baru first time guna Prezi, memang akan ambil masa sikit lah sebab baru nak familiar kan. Tapi kalau dah familiar, sekejap je lah. Macam tadi kalau kita tengok Prezi, dia good thing about Prezi ialah dia tak banyak features. Dia straightforward. Dia hanya keyword kat tepi tu and dengan slide, and then you just bercakap saja. So use tools yang you are very comfortable with. Kalau rasa malas sangat, ataupun bukan malas, sibuk sangat, tak ada peluang nak belajar tu yang canggih manggih semua tu, you can follow yang macam Notebook buat lah. Guna whiteboard, tulis saja the key points siap-siap, buka kamera, use your mobile phone punya kamera, record je lah. So tak perlu guna cat wing ke semua, tak perlu. Just record straightforward. Cuma my nasihat ialah jangan buat macam ni. Jangan record, pause, lepas tu record balik, lepas tu you akan lose the momentum. Saya lebih suka cakap saja. Kalau ada kesalahan, you just cakap, ataupun you just berhenti, in your case you pause, lepas tu you terangkan balik, bla 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 bla. Record dalam satu continuous flow. Kemudian baru you potong. Kalau you bercakap sekejap, salah, you tekan stop, lepas tu tekan record balik, memang you akan rasa frustrated, you tak akan buat lagi lah. Memang you akan rasa macam baik buat lah. Cakap saja. Macam let's say tiba-tiba you sambil you menerangkan sesuatu tu, you did something wrong, ataupun you said something wrong, you just pause, ada pause sikit, ada gap sikit, maybe dalam 5 saat, then continue. Okay, continue balik. Tak perlu tekan stop di phone ataupun di kamera, sebab the moment you stop, dia akan jadi satu file lain kan. So kadang-kadang bila recording tu nak buat 3 minit video sampai 20-40 video file, macam mana you nak combine kan? You rasa frustrated. So you continuous record, dan contoh satu file saja, bila dah masuk ke dalam your editor macam Capwing and all that, then you cut. Then it's easier to play around with the editing lah. Sebab kalau you pause, you kadang-kadang ada part yang you suka kan. Sebelum ni you suka, tapi bila you ulang balik dah jadi lain dah kan. So you might want to keep that. So I selalu macam tu. Kalau video untuk 5-10 minit, misal kata kalau I terangkan and then ada kesalahan, I would just continue. So file asal tu mungkin 30 minit. File yang dah siap tu, record tu 30 minit, tapi I masukkan dalam software macam Capwing and Audit, and then I potong lah. Mana-mana yang I nak buang tu, I buang sahaja. Yang mana berulang tu, I buang. So yang 30 minit tu akan kekal 5 minit sahaja, mana yang saya nak tu. Okay, so that is the tip lah. Sebab I notice bila pensyarah buat video, dia jadi frustrated bila file dia banyak sangat. Satu video tu sampai berpuluh-puluh recording. So bila nak edit tu pening kepala sebab banyak sangat video yang you dah record. Okay, ada lagi tak? Kalau tak,
okay, saya rasa jam pun menunjukkan pukul 12, hampir 12 waktu. Okay, so saya ucapkan terima kasih banyak-banyak kepada Mr. Chuah Kee Man atas perkongsian topik yang menarik ni. Semoga apa yang dikongsikan oleh Mr. Kee Man hari ini menjadi panduan untuk kita terus memberikan yang terbaik untuk universiti. Okay, baik, bagi pihak PPBI, saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kerana menyertai kami pada hari ini, dan terima kasih atas perhatian semua. Terima kasih sekali lagi Mr. Kee Man.